close your eyes and visualize a monolith of pure granite rising miles into the thin, frozen atmosphere. While the world below rushes in a chaotic blur, the mountain stands in a state of absolute geologic stillness. It is held in place not just by stone, but by the laws of gravity and the ancient friction of tectonic plates, a silence that has remained unbroken for eons. Tonight, we borrow that heaviness. We borrow that permanence. Science tells us that mountains are the anchors of our planet. Tonight, let them be the anchors of your mind. We are going to let the sheer mass of these ancient giants crush your anxiety into dust. Let the mountains carry the weight of existence for you, so you can finally drift away.
Tonight, we begin our journey not by moving forward into tomorrow, but by sinking backward into the vast and silent ocean of history, entering a realm that scientists and geologists call deep time, which is a scale of existence so massive and so slow that it makes the frantic pace of our modern lives disappear completely. As you lie there in the comfort of your bed, I want you to visualize the bedrock beneath you, the solid crust of the North American continent, which acts as a cradle for your rest. Because to understand the relaxing power of mountains, we must first understand the concept of time as a mountain experiences it. Not in seconds or minutes or hours, but in epochs and eras and eons, where 1,000,000 years is merely a single breath in the life of a stone. Science tells us that the mountains you see on the horizon, whether they are the jagged granite peaks of the Rockies or the rolling ancient green slopes of the Appalachians, are not merely inanimate objects, but are actually the keepers of the Earth's memory, standing as silent witnesses to history while civilizations rise and fall in the blink of a geologic eye. When you look at a mountain, you are looking at a stillness that has survived everything. And tonight, we are going to borrow that stillness and wrap it around your mind like a heavy, comforting blanket. Imagine the molecules in your body slowing down, cooling down, and aligning themselves with the stability of the lithosphere, the rigid outer shell of our planet that floats calmly on the mantle below. Deep time is a lullaby sung by gravity and pressure, a song that has no melody but has a rhythm as slow as the movement of a glacier. Consider the science of sedimentary rock, layer upon layer of sand and silt and ancient marine life compressed over millions of years into solid stone. And imagine that your thoughts are settling just like those sediments, drifting down through the dark, quiet waters of your mind to settle at the very bottom where nothing can disturb them. In the world of geology, there is no rush, there is no deadline, there is only the patient work of existence. The specific gravity of granite is roughly 2.7 times that of water, meaning it is dense and heavy and grounded. And as you visualize this density, I want you to feel your own body becoming heavy, sinking deeper into your mattress as if the gravitational pull of the earth is gently increasing just for you, holding you safe and secure against the surface of the world. We are shifting your internal clock from the fast frequency of biology to the ultra-slow frequency of geology. Think of the Grand Canyon or the Great Smoky Mountains and realize that they exist in a state of permanent meditation. They do not react to the weather, they simply endure it. They do not fear the night, they simply welcome the shadows. And this is the lesson the mountain offers you tonight, which is the art of simply being. The noise of the traffic outside, the notifications on your phone, the worries of the day, all of these are just temporary surface erosion, tiny grains of sand blowing in the wind that cannot scratch the diamond-hard surface of your inner peace. As we drift deeper into this geologic lullaby, we must acknowledge the sheer age of the stone. For some of the rocks in the American West are over 1 billion years old, formed before the first dinosaur walked, before the first tree grew, before the first breath was taken by any creature on land. This stone has known only silence and the slow pressure of the earth, and it is this ancient silence that we are tapping into right now.
Imagine your brain waves slowing down from the rapid beta state of wakefulness into the slow, rhythmic alpha and theta waves that mimic the rolling hills of a landscape. Science explains that mountains are often formed by the collision of tectonic plates, massive sections of the Earth's crust crashing together in a slow-motion impact that takes millions of years to unfold. And while this sounds violent, it is actually a creative act of immense patience, a lifting up of the Earth toward the stars. Let your mind dwell on that image of slow uplifting, the feeling of being supported by a force much larger than yourself, a force that operates on a timescale where urgency does not exist. The concept of deep time allows us to detach from the immediate stress of right now, because compared to the lifespan of a mountain, your problems are microscopic. They are fleeting shadows passing over a canyon wall that leave no trace behind when the sun goes down. Breathe in deeply and imagine you are breathing in the cool, thin air of a high-altitude peak, air that is crisp and clean and free of the heavy humidity of the lowlands. In this high place, the atmosphere is thinner, the pressure is lower, and the silence is absolute. It is a scientific fact that sound waves struggle to travel in the thin air of high elevations, creating a natural acoustic dampening effect that turns the mountaintop into a sanctuary of quiet. You are standing there in your mind, surrounded by the gray and white geometry of the peaks, feeling the cold stability of the rock beneath your feet, knowing that this rock has not moved for 10,000 years, and it will not move for 10,000 more. This creates a sense of profound safety, a feeling that the foundation of your world is solid and unshakable. Deep time is the ultimate sedative because it reminds us that everything is cycling, everything is changing, but the earth itself remains constant. As you continue to listen to the sound of my voice, you might visualize the layers of the earth like a warm, heavy quilt, the crust, the mantle, the core, all radiating a gentle heat that warms you from the inside out. The heat of the earth is geothermic energy, a remnant of the planet's creation, a fire that has been burning slowly for 4.5 billion years, and you are resting on top of that eternal warmth. The mountain does not sleep in the way we do. It exists in a state of dormant awareness, a suspended animation where the only movement is the slow creep of crystals growing within the rock or the microscopic weathering of the surface. We are synchronizing your heartbeat with this geological pace. Lub, dub, lub, dub. Slow and steady, like the accumulation of snow on a glacier. In the philosophy of deep time, there is no yesterday and no tomorrow. There is only the everlasting present moment, a moment that stretches out for eons. The stress of your schedule dissolves when placed next to the timeline of the Sierra Nevada. What is a deadline to a mountain range that took 60 million years to rise? It is nothing. It is less than nothing. Allow this perspective to liberate you. Allow the science of scale to minimize your anxieties until they are small enough to be blown away by a gentle mountain breeze. The rocks are heavy, so you don't have to be. The earth is strong, so you can be soft. The physics of the mountain are the physics of rest, distinct structures that have settled into their lowest energy state, balanced and immovable. When a rock rolls down a hill and comes to a stop in the valley, it has reached a state of equilibrium. It has found its resting place where gravity no longer pulls at it. And tonight, you have found your resting place too. You are the stone in the valley, perfectly balanced, perfectly at rest, with no more distance to travel and no more work to do. The chemical composition of these mountains, the quartz and feldspar and mica, are organized in perfect crystalline structures, a lattice of atoms locked in a stable embrace, and your body is now mimicking that stability, every muscle fiber relaxing and locking into a state of comfort. Deep time implies that the Earth is taking care of itself, that the complex systems of the biosphere and lithosphere are operating on autopilot, so you can let go of the controls. You do not need to steer the planet tonight. You do not need to push the tectonic plates. You do not need to erode the canyons. It is all happening without you, allowing you to completely disengage and drift into the void of sleep. The history of the Earth is written in these rocks, a history of oceans that dried up and forests that turned to stone, a history that proves that everything passes, everything changes, and peace is the natural result of time. As you lie in the dark, think of the darkness inside a mountain cave, a darkness that is cool and absolute, a darkness that has never been touched by the sun. This is the darkness of deep rest, a protective shield that blocks out the visual noise of the world. In this cave of deep time, the temperature is constant, the air is still, and the silence is so thick you can feel it touching your skin. This is where the Earth sleeps. This is where the fossils sleep, curled up in their limestone beds, waiting for eternity. You are joining them in this slumber, not as a fossil, but as a living, breathing part of this ancient system. The frequency of stone is a low hum, a vibration that is almost below the threshold of human hearing, a subsonic resonance that calms the nervous system and signals to the primitive part of your brain that you are on solid ground. Evolution has wired us to seek safety, and there is no safety greater than the fortress of a mountain range. The sheer mass of the rock blocks the wind and holds back the storm. You are sheltered in the lee of the mountain, protected by millions of tons of granite. The story of the mountain is a lullaby of endurance, a whisper that says, "I am here, I am solid, I have seen the ages pass, and I am still standing, and you can lean on me." Let the concept of deep time wash over you like a slow-moving river, eroding the sharp edges of your thoughts, smoothing them down until they are round and soft like river stones. There is no resistance in deep time, only acceptance. The mountain accepts the snow, it accepts the rain, it accepts the sun, and it accepts the night. It does not fight, it does not struggle, it simply is. And now, you simply are. You are a point of consciousness floating in the vast sea of geologic time, untethered from the clock, drifting slowly towards the horizon of sleep. The heavy lid of the night sky closes over the peaks, and the heavy lids of your eyes close over your vision. The world is turning, the plates are drifting, the magma is cooling, and you are sleeping. Wrapped in the logic of science and the comfort of history, you are safe. The mountains are watching over you, the silent sentinels of the night, keeping their eternal vigil so that you can let go. Deep time is the blanket, gravity is the mattress, the earth is the bed, and you are the sleeper, sinking down, down, down into the bedrock of peace, joining the mountains in their millions of years of silence.
Now we shift our focus from the stillness of time to the gentle and rhythmic movement of the Earth itself, specifically the majestic and slow dance of tectonic plates, which is the science of how the ground beneath you is constantly arranging itself into a position of perfect balance. While you lie motionless in your bed, the continent of North America is actually drifting, sliding ever so softly over the semi-fluid rock of the mantle below, moving at a speed roughly equivalent to the growth of your fingernails, a pace so incredibly slow that it defines the very essence of patience.
This is the science of plate tectonics, a theory that explains that the surface of our planet is like a jigsaw puzzle of massive stone slabs floating on a hot, viscous ocean of rock called the asthenosphere. Tonight, we are going to visualize the most powerful yet peaceful collision in history, the convergence of the Indian plate with the Eurasian plate, a movement that created the Himalayas. But we will not view this as a violent crash. Instead, we will view it as a slow and eternal embrace between two giants. Imagine the Indian plate beginning its journey millions of years ago, floating across the ancient Tethys Ocean, carrying with it the seabed that would one day become the roof of the world. As it approaches the Eurasian continent, there is no noise, there is no sudden impact. There is only the irresistible momentum of geology, a force so great that it does not need to rush. When these two continental masses meet, they possess similar densities. Neither one wants to sink beneath the other, and so in a display of physics that creates the sublime, they decide to rise together. Picture this happening in your mind's eye, not in seconds, but over millions of years, the land buckling and folding, the rock becoming pliable under the immense pressure and heat, lifting slowly, inch by inch towards the stars. This is a rhythmic pushing, a heaving of the Earth's crust that mimics the slow heaving of your own chest as you breathe deeply in and out. The pressure involved here is unimaginable. Billions of tons of rock pressing against billions of tons of rock. But in this pressure, there is a profound sense of support. Just as the weight of your body presses down into the mattress and the mattress presses back up to support you. This is Newton's third law of motion in action. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And in the case of the mountains, this reaction is the creation of height and majesty. As you visualize the rock layers bending and folding like heavy cloth, imagine that your own muscles are undergoing a similar process of release. The tension in your back and shoulders being compressed and then released, smoothed out by the tectonic forces of your imagination. The science of this uplift is a miracle of buoyancy, the crust thickening and floating higher on the mantle like an iceberg floating in water. And as the mountains rise, they carry with them the fossils of the sea, lifting ancient history into the thin air of the troposphere. Let us transport this image to the American West, to the Laramide orogeny, which formed the Rocky Mountains, a slightly different dance where the oceanic plate slid underneath the North American plate at a shallow angle, rubbing against the bottom of the continent and causing the land miles inland to blister and rise up into the peaks we know today. This friction is not painful, it is a warming friction, a geological massage that warms the roots of the continent. Imagine the heat generated deep underground where the plates rub together, a geothermal warmth that radiates slowly upwards, passing through miles of granite and basalt until it reaches the surface as a gentle comfort. The energy required to lift a mountain range is the same energy that keeps our planet alive, and tonight you're resting on top of that living, breathing engine. The movement is so smooth that we cannot feel it, yet it is happening right now, a constant reminder that progress does not have to be fast to be effective. The highest peaks in the world are still rising, growing by mere millimeters every year, a testament to the power of slow, consistent effort. This is the lesson for your sleep tonight, that you do not need to rush to reach a state of rest. You simply need to continue drifting, continue softening, and you will eventually arrive at the summit of sleep. The friction of the tectonic plates acts as a brake on the spinning of the world, a stabilizing force that holds the continents in place, just as you are held in place by the gravity of your room. Visualize the contact zone between the plates, a suture zone where two distinct lands become one, stitched together by time and pressure. In this zone, the rock is metamorphosed, changed by heat and pressure into something stronger and more beautiful, just as your mind is being transformed by the pressure of sleep into a state of clarity and calm. The slate and marble and gneiss that make up the cores of these mountains were once mud and sand, transformed by this slow dance into the hard bones of the earth. Feel the solidity of that transformation. There is no fragility here, only strength. The mountains are the calluses of the planet, thick and protective, shielding the delicate life below from the harsh winds of the upper atmosphere. As the plates push against each other, they lock together, creating a friction lock that holds for centuries at a time, a period of quiet strain accumulation that is essentially a long, deep sleep for the fault line. You are currently in that locking phase, holding still, grounded, immovable. The energy of the collision is absorbed by the rock, stored as potential energy, a reservoir of power that is perfectly contained. Think of the Appalachian Mountains, the ancient giants of the American East, which were once as tall as the Himalayas but have since eroded down into the gentle, rolling green folds that we see today. They represent the end of the dance, the cooling down, the relaxation after the collision is over. They teach us that even the greatest forces eventually find balance and settle down into a comfortable repose. Whether the mountains are young and rising or old and settling, they all obey the laws of physics, specifically the principles of isostatic equilibrium, seeking a balance point where they can float effortlessly on the mantle. You too are seeking your equilibrium tonight, the balance point between the physical body and the drifting mind. The tectonic plates are not fighting, they are cooperating to reshape the surface of the world, and in doing so, they create the valleys and the peaks, the highs and the lows, the geography of our dreams. Imagine the sound of this movement, not as a grinding noise, but as a low-frequency hum, a vibration so deep it travels through the solid earth and resonates in your bones, a lullaby from the core of the planet. This vibration is the sound of the earth growing, the sound of the earth evolving, a process that has no deadline and no urgency. The slow-motion collision is a mesmerizing visual, two sheets of rock sliding over one another with the viscosity of cold honey, overlapping and thickening. If you were to watch this process in a time-lapse video spanning 10 million years, it would look like water flowing, ripples spreading across a pond, proving that even the hardest stone is fluid if you give it enough time. Give yourself that time tonight. Allow your thoughts to become fluid, to flow like the continental crust, changing shape and drifting away. The collision of India into Asia is still happening. The push is still active, but it is so controlled, so steady, that it creates the serenity of the Tibetan Plateau, the roof of the world where the air is thin and the mind is clear. You are climbing to that plateau in your mind, ascending the staircase of tectonic uplift, leaving the heavy atmosphere of the lowlands behind. Every step you take up this mountain of imagination is supported by the colossal forces of the earth. You are being lifted up by the planet itself. There is no effort required on your part. The plates do the work. The earth provides the energy. You simply ride the wave of stone. The majestic slowness of this process is the ultimate cure for the rushing sickness of modern life. In a world of high-speed internet and instant gratification, the tectonic plates remind us that the most important things, the things that last, take time. They take patience. They take a steady, unyielding pressure that refuses to give up. Let this realization sink into your subconscious. You are part of a planet that takes its time. You are made of the same elements as these plates, the carbon, the calcium, the iron, and you follow the same laws of physics. Your body is a microcosm of the earth, and tonight your tectonic plates, your bones and muscles, are settling into their final resting positions for the night. The continental collision is a marriage of land masses, a unification that creates something greater than the sum of its parts. Where there were once two separate continents, separated by an ocean, there is now one continuous landmass, joined forever by the mountain range. This is a symbol of integration, of bringing together the scattered parts of your day and unifying them into a singular peaceful experience of sleep. The stress of the morning, the work of the afternoon, the fatigue of the evening, all colliding gently to form the mountain of your rest. The friction has stopped, the heat has dissipated. All that remains is the solid structure of the mountain, standing tall against the night sky. The Himalayas are not just rock, they are the result of a planetary hug, a tightness that holds the world together. Feel yourself being held by that same tightness, swaddled in the gravity of the earth, compressed gently from all sides by the comforting weight of the blankets. The science of tectonics is the science of construction, of building a foundation that can last for eons. You are building your foundation for tomorrow by sleeping tonight. The energy you save now, the restoration you achieve, is the uplift that will carry you through the next day. But for now, there is no next day. There is only the slow, dark drift of the plates. The North American plate is moving west, away from Europe, widening the Atlantic Ocean by a few centimeters a year, a silent opening, a creating of space. Create that space in your mind. Let your thoughts drift apart like the continents, widening the ocean of silence between them. The further they drift, the quieter it becomes. The tectonic dance is slowing down for you now. The music of the spheres is fading into a whisper. The collision has softened into a caress. The mountains have stopped rising and are simply floating, suspended in the magma, suspended in the night. You are floating with them, a passenger on the great stone raft of the continent, drifting across the dark surface of the world, safe, secure, and infinitely slow. The dance is over. The stillness has arrived. The plates are at rest, and so are you.
Now that we have witnessed the slow dance of the plates, let us drift deeper into the hidden structure of the Earth to understand the invisible physics that keeps these mountains standing tall against the sky. This is the science of isostasy, a term derived from the Greek words for equal and standstill, representing a state of perfect gravitational equilibrium, which is the exact state of balance your body and mind are seeking right now. When you look at a photograph of the Rocky Mountains or the Sierra Nevada, you're only seeing the very tip of the iceberg, because science tells us that for every inch of mountain that rises into the air, there are deep and massive roots of rock extending miles down into the Earth's mantle. Just as an iceberg floats in the ocean with 90% of its mass hidden beneath the dark water, the continents float on the semi-solid rock of the asthenosphere, and the higher the peak, the deeper the root must be to support it. This means that the mountain is not just sitting on top of the ground, it is anchored deep within the planet, held steady by the laws of buoyancy and displacement. Visualize this immense root structure beneath the mountain, a reversed mirror image of the peak plunging down into the warm depths of the earth, stabilizing the majestic weight above so it can never topple or fall. This scientific fact offers a profound psychological comfort because it reminds us that true stability comes from what is unseen, from the deep internal foundations that hold us up when the winds of life blow hard. As you lie there, feel the gravity of the earth pulling you down, but do not resist it. Instead, welcome it as the force that anchors you to your bed, just as the mountain roots anchor the crust to the mantle. You are isostatic. You are balanced. You are held. The crust of the Earth is not a rigid shell, but a collection of floating rafts, and tonight you are floating on one of them, perfectly supported by the density of the world below. Consider the physics of the Sierra Nevada range in California, where the granite roots extend over 30 miles into the depths, acting as a keel on a ship to keep the mountain steady as the Earth spins at 1,000 miles an hour. You do not feel the spin, and you do not feel the drift, because the anchorage is so secure, and in this moment you are as secure as the granite itself. The concept of isostasy explains why the Earth does not crack under the weight of the Himalayas, because the mantle flows slowly out of the way to accommodate the roots, wrapping around them like warm, thick honey, cradling the stone in a geologic embrace. Imagine your mattress is the mantle, soft and yielding, yet strong enough to hold you, adapting to the shape of your body, just as the Earth adapts to the shape of the mountain. There is no tension in this system. There is only equilibrium, a mathematical canceling out of forces until everything comes to rest. The heavy lithosphere pushes down, and the buoyant asthenosphere pushes up, and in the middle lies the zone of peace where you are resting now. This is the 0 point, the neutral zone where effort ceases and existence begins. The mountain does not struggle to stay up. It simply rests on its roots, trusting the physics of the universe to keep it safe. You can trust the physics of the universe tonight, too. You can trust that the floor will hold the bed will hold you, and the gravity will keep you centered. Let your mind travel down the route of the mountain, descending past the water table, past the fossil layers, past the bedrock, down into the deep crust where the rock is hot and plastic and slow.
Here in the depths, the silence is even more profound than on the summit, because here there is no wind, no weather, only the eternal pressure of existence, which feels like a tight, comforting hug. The science of isostasy is also the science of recovery, because when a mountain erodes and loses weight, the root slowly rises up to maintain the balance, a process called isostatic rebound. This means the Earth is responsive. It is always adjusting to make sure things are level, and your body has the same wisdom, constantly adjusting your heart rate and your breathing to bring you back to a state of homeostasis or balance. Tonight, we are speeding up that recovery by slowing down your thoughts. Let the heavy thoughts sink like stones. Let them become part of the root system, burying themselves deep underground where they can anchor you instead of bothering you. The density of the crust is lighter than the mantle, which is why it floats. And right now, your conscious mind is becoming lighter, floating on the surface of sleep, while your physical body sinks deeper into relaxation. Archimedes' principle applies here. The buoyant force is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced, and you are displacing the stress of the day with the weight of your relaxation. Visualizing the roots of the mountain helps us understand that we do not need to see everything to know it is there. We do not need to see the support to know we are supported. The Grand Tetons in Wyoming rise abruptly from the valley floor, but their true grandeur lies in the miles of rock beneath the surface that we will never see, the invisible strength that allows them to touch the sky. Think of your own invisible strengths, the resilience that lies beneath your surface, the deep roots of your character that keep you steady. You are built like a mountain. You have a visible self and a hidden self, and tonight the hidden self is taking over, the deep subconscious root that knows how to sleep, that knows how to heal, that knows how to dream. The pressure deep within the earth is immense, but it is not destructive. It is binding. It presses the atoms of the rock closer together, making them stronger. And let this sleep press your energy closer together, consolidating your strength for tomorrow. The mountain root sits in the dark,
warm and unmoving, undisturbed by the changing seasons above. It does not know if it is winter or summer, day or night. It only knows the constant embrace of the mantle. Seek that state of unknowing. Let go of the time. Let go of the date. Let go of the location. You are simply a mass of matter resting in a gravitational field, obeying the laws of nature. The interaction between the crust and the mantle is a fluid dynamic on a massive timescale, a slow-motion adjustment that ensures stability for millions of years. If the Earth can maintain this balance for eons, surely you can maintain it for one night. The physics are on your side. The science of gravity is a promise that you will not float away, you will not fall, you will stay right here, grounded and safe. Feel the imaginary roots growing out of your back, extending down through the mattress, down through the floor, down into the soil, connecting you to the bedrock of your city. You are now physically connected to the planet, tapped into the same stability that holds up the Rockies. This connection drains the static electricity of anxiety from your nervous system, earthing it deep into the ground. In electrical engineering, this is called grounding, and in geology, it is called isostasis. But in sleep, we simply call it peace. The roots of the mountain are made of lighter rock than the mantle, which is why they don't sink forever. They find their level and they stop. You have found your level.
You have reached the depth of relaxation, where you no longer need to sink, you just need to be. The invisible anchors are holding you. The specific gravity of the mantle is higher than the crust, creating a buoyant force that pushes back against the weight, a gentle lifting sensation that counteracts the heaviness. It is like floating in a sensory deprivation tank filled with salt water, where the water is so dense you cannot sink. The earth is your tank. The mantle is your salt water. You are suspended in safety. As we explore this scientific truth, we realize that nothing stands alone. Everything is supported by something deeper. The mountain is supported by the root. The root is supported by the mantle. The mantle is supported by the core. You are part of this chain of support. You are not alone in the dark. You are held by the entire structure of the planet. The vastness of the mountain roots suggests a calmness that is impenetrable. No noise from the surface can reach that deep. No storm can shake the roots. Imagine your consciousness retreating into that root system, going down 5 miles, 10 miles, 20 miles, until you are wrapped in the warm, silent, crushing dark of the lithosphere. Here, the rock is under so much pressure that it flows like plastic, a state of matter that is neither solid nor liquid, a state of becoming. Sleep is also a state of becoming, a plastic state where the mind is molded and repaired. Allow the physics of isostasis to settle your breathing into a rhythm of total equilibrium. Inhale and feel the buoyancy. Exhale and feel the gravity. Inhale, float. Exhale, sink. The balance is perfect. The equation is solved. There are no variables left to calculate. The math of the mountain is simple and absolute. It stands because it is deep. You sleep because you are deep. The invisible anchors are locked in place. The ship of your mind is moored in the harbor of the night. The water is calm, the wind has died down, and the heavy chain of gravity holds you fast. Nothing can drift, nothing can move. The roots of the mountain are timeless. They were there before you were born, and they will be there long after you are gone, a permanent testament to stability. Born out of the chaos of the early earth,
they have settled into a permanent peace. Let that permanence seep into your bones. The feeling of being anchored is the antithesis of anxiety. Anxiety is floating, spinning, untethered. Sleep is heavy, rooted, fixed. Be the mountain, be the root, be the anchor. The science is real, the gravity is real, and the sleep is real. As the mountain rests on the mantle, let your head rest on the pillow, knowing that there is miles of support beneath you, layers and layers of protection, keeping you safe in the suspended animation of the night. The crust is thick, the foundation is solid, and the equilibrium is established. You are safe in the arms of the earth. As we move from the physics of the earth to the history of life, we encounter one of the most serene paradoxes in science, which is the presence of ancient sea creatures sleeping near the very top of the world. If you were to climb to the summit of Mount Everest or hike the high ridges of the Canadian Rockies and look closely at the gray limestone beneath your boots, you would find the fossilized remains of trilobites and cridoids and shellfish, creatures that lived in the warm, quiet oceans over 500 million years ago, during a period scientists call the Cambrian explosion. Tonight, we are going to use this image to deepen your relaxation, visualizing the journey of these tiny beings from the bottom of the prehistoric sea to the peaks of the clouds, a journey that took place in absolute silence and slowness. Imagine the North American continent as it was 500 million years ago, not a land of forests and cities, but a vast, shallow, tropical sea, teeming with early life, a world of soft water and filtering sunlight, where the rhythm of existence was defined only by the tides. These creatures lived their lives in the calm currents, building their shells out of calcium carbonate extracted from the water, and when their time came to rest, they drifted slowly down to the ocean floor, settling into the soft, rhythmic mud. This is the beginning of the longest sleep in history. Layer upon layer of silt and sand covered them, gentle blankets of sediment that accumulated over millions of years, pressing down with a comforting weight that turned the seabed into stone. This process is called lithification, the turning of loose earth into solid rock, and it preserves the shape of the sleeper perfectly. As you lie in your bed, imagine that you are held with that same gentleness, covered by the layers of the night, protected from the chaos of the surface world. The Burgess Shale in the Rocky Mountains is famous for these fossils, capturing a moment in deep time when the world was quiet and new. These fossils are not dead in the way we think of death. They are suspended in the stone, immortalized in a state of eternal repose. They have been sleeping for 540 million years, undisturbed by the dinosaurs, undisturbed by the ice ages, undisturbed by the rise of humanity. They are the ultimate masters of sleep. Think of the silence inside a block of limestone, a silence that is dense and cool and absolutely impenetrable. This is the silence we are inviting into your mind right now. As the tectonic plates moved and the continents collided, the ocean floor was slowly lifted up, inch by inch, pushed higher and higher until the seabed became the summit. It is a scientific miracle that the highest point on Earth, the summit of Everest, is made of marine limestone, meaning the top of the world was once the bottom of the sea. This connects the deepest ocean with the highest sky, a full circle of geological destiny. Visualizing this helps you understand that high and low are just temporary states, that everything cycles, and right now, your cycle is moving into the deep valley of sleep. The fossils in the rock are tiny calcified spirals and shells, perfect geometries of nature that have turned to stone. Imagine your own thoughts becoming like these fossils, calcifying, stopping their movement, becoming heavy and still and permanent. You do not need to chase them anymore. They are set in stone. The concept of the Cambrian explosion was a burst of life, but what followed was a long, quiet preservation. We are focusing on the preservation. The rock protects the fossil, just as your room protects you. The layers of the earth are like the pages of a heavy book that has been closed tight, and you are resting between the pages. The sea creatures of the Cambrian era had no eyes to see the sun or ears to hear the wind.
They lived in a world of touch and pressure and water, a sensory environment that is very similar to the womb of sleep. Let your senses withdraw, just like theirs. Let the visual world fade into the gray of the limestone. Let the auditory world be muffled by the millions of tons of rock. You are safe here in the geologic history of the world. The connection between the ocean and the mountain is water, and your body is mostly water, resonating with this ancient history. The salt in your blood is the same salt that was in the Cambrian Ocean. The calcium in your bones is the same calcium that formed the shells of the trilobites. You are part of this story. You are not separate from the earth. You are a continuation of it. When you sleep, you are returning to that primordial state of simple existence. The fossil does not worry about the future. It does not regret the past. It simply waits in the stone, perfectly at peace. The pressure that formed these fossils is the same pressure that formed the diamonds deep in the earth, a pressure that purifies and solidifies. Let the pressure of your day purify your mind, squeezing out the stress and leaving only the diamond-hard core of silence. The mountains of America, from the Appalachians to the Sierras, are vast cemeteries of ancient life, but they are not places of sadness, they are places of rest. They are monuments to the fact that rest is the natural state of matter. Life is a brief flicker of activity, but stone is forever. Tonight, be the stone, be the fossil, be the mountain. Feel the heavy, cool sensation of being encased in safety. The limestone is cool to the touch, smooth and gray, and it absorbs the heat of your anxiety, neutralizing it instantly. The ammonite, with its spiral shell, is a symbol of winding down, of turning inward towards the center. Visualize that spiral spinning slowly in the darkness behind your eyelids, leading you deeper and deeper into the center of your sleep. The further you go into the spiral, the quieter it becomes. The outside world is the outer ring, noisy and chaotic, but you are traveling to the center, the inner chamber of the shell, where the air is still and the water is calm. The science of paleontology tells us that these creatures were bottom dwellers, living in the benthic zone, the lowest level of a body of water. Tonight, you are a bottom dweller. You are sinking to the bottom of the ocean of air, settling onto your mattress like a trilobite settling onto the sand. The water pressure above you is heavy and comforting, holding you down, preventing you from floating back up to the surface of wakefulness. The mountains carry these memories of water in their very structure. When the snow melts on the peaks and runs down into the rivers, it is the mountain crying tears of memory for the ocean it used to be. Listen to the sound of that water in your mind, the trickle of the stream, the rush of the river, the sound of the ancient sea returning to its source. It is a loop of water and stone, a loop of waking and sleeping. The fossils remind us that time is not a straight line, it is a layering. You are adding a layer of rest to your life tonight, a layer that will become part of your history. The Cambrian explosion was followed by the Ordovician, the Silurian, the Devonian, era after era of slow change, and through it all, the fossils slept. They slept while the continents broke apart. They slept while the meteors fell. They slept while the mammals rose, and they are still sleeping. Draw strength from that endurance. If a small shell can endure the crushing weight of a mountain for 500 million years, you can endure this night. You can find peace in this night.
The stone is a conductor of silence. It does not transmit vibration well. It dampens the noise. Wrap yourself in a mental layer of sedimentary rock. Visualize the layers of blanket and sheet as layers of shale and sandstone. You are fossilizing your worries. You are turning your to-do list into a relic of the past that no longer has power over you. The only thing that matters now is the heavy, dark comfort of the stone. The history of the Earth is a history of sleep. Most of the planet's mass is sleeping rock. The active biosphere is just a thin skin on top of a sleeping giant. Join the giant. Sink into the mass. The marine fossils on the mountaintop are a secret that the mountain keeps, a hidden identity. You too have a hidden identity, a self that exists only in sleep, a self that is vast and calm and ancient. Access that self now. The door to the past is open. The sea is calling you back. Not the stormy sea of the surface, but the deep abyssal plain where the water is near freezing and the darkness is total. That is where the sleep lives. The distinct shape of the trilobite with its 3 lobes represents the past, the present, and the future, all fused together in stone. In the state of deep sleep, there is no distinction between these times. There is only now. The fossil is the ultimate meditator, permanently focused, permanently still. Let your breath become as slow as the geologic process that uncovered these fossils. Erosion takes millions of years to reveal what is hidden. Let your breath erode the tension in your body, millimeter by millimeter, until only the relaxation remains. The mountains are the museums of the earth, and you are the visitor who has decided to stay for the night, curling up on a bench in the quietest hall of the museum, surrounded by the masterpieces of nature. The lights are out, the doors are locked, the silence is yours. The science of stratigraphy is the study of rock layers, and tonight we are studying the stratigraphy of sleep. The first layer is closing your eyes. The second layer is relaxing your jaw. The third layer is slowing your heart. The fourth layer is the Cambrian layer, the layer of deep, ancient, oceanic peace. You are descending through the layers now, going deeper, past the Holocene, past the Pleistocene, past the Jurassic, down to the Cambrian, down to the quiet. The fossils are your companions. They whisper to you in the language of stone. They say, slow down. They say, be still. They say, wait. The wait is over. The sleep is here. The ocean has become the mountain, and the mountain has become your pillow. Rest your head on the ancient seabed. Let the ghosts of the Cambrian Sea lull you into a slumber as deep as the trench, as high as the peak, and as lasting as the stone itself.
Now we turn our attention from the hidden heat of the earth to the majestic and cooling silence of the ice, entering the world of glaciology, where time moves at the speed of a frozen river. Imagine the air around you becoming crisp and pure, the kind of air that exists only at high latitudes or high altitudes, a freshness that cleanses the lungs and cools the mind. We are traveling back to the Pleistocene epoch, the time of the last great ice age, when massive sheets of ice covered the North American continent, sealing the land in a protective slumber of white. A glacier is not merely a block of ice, it is a dynamic and living system of physics, a river of solid matter that flows under the immense weight of its own gravity. Tonight, we will let your thoughts flow with that same heavy and irresistible momentum, moving away from the source of your stress and drifting down into the valley of rest. The science of glacial movement is defined by its slowness, a pace so gradual that it is invisible to the human eye, moving perhaps only a few inches or a few feet in an entire year. This is the pace we are setting for your nervous system. There is no hurry in the world of the glacier. There is only the accumulation of snow, flake by delicate flake, falling softly in the silence of the mountains, compressing over centuries until the air is squeezed out and the white snow transforms into the deep, vibrant blue of glacial ice. Visualizing this blue ice is deeply relaxing, a color that naturally slows the heart rate and signals the brain to enter a state of calm. As the glacier grows heavy, it begins to slide, lubricated by a thin layer of meltwater at its base, a process known as basal sliding. Feel this sliding sensation in your body, a smooth and frictionless drift towards sleep. The power of the glacier lies in its weight, millions of tons of ice pressing down on the granite bedrock, and this pressure is not destructive but sculpting. As the ice moves, it acts like a giant file, grinding away the sharp edges of the mountains, smoothing the rough surfaces, polishing the stone until it shines. This is the process of abrasion, and tonight we are applying this process to your day. Let the heavy, cool weight of the imaginary glacier slide over the rough edges of your thoughts, grinding down the worries, smoothing out the anxieties, polishing the jagged moments of the day until they are flat and harmless. The glacier turns the hard rock into fine powder known as glacial flour, a soft silt that flows away in the streams, just as your tension is being pulverized into nothingness and washing away. Consider the shape of the valleys carved by rivers versus the valleys carved by glaciers. A river cuts a sharp V-shaped valley, narrow and steep, representing the rushing urgency of water. But a glacier carves a U-shaped valley, wide and open and curved, a shape that invites openness and breath. Yosemite Valley in California is a perfect example of this glacial architecture, with its vertical walls and flat floor, a cathedral of stone carved by the patience of ice. Place yourself in that U-shaped valley now. The walls are high and protective, blocking out the noise of the world. The floor is flat and grassy, a perfect place to rest. The glacier that once filled this space has done its work and retreated, leaving behind a landscape of total serenity. You are resting in the aftermath of the ice, in the wide open space of clarity that follows a deep sleep. The physics of ice explains that under pressure, ice becomes plastic. It can bend and flow without breaking. Your mind is becoming plastic now, flexible and yielding, no longer brittle or rigid. You are bending with the flow of the night. The sound of a glacier is a deep, resonant creaking, a low-frequency groan that tells of massive forces shifting in the dark, a sound that is strangely comforting because it reminds us that the earth is doing the heavy lifting. You do not need to carry the weight of the world. The glacier carries it for you. The ice sheet acts as a thermal blanket for the earth, trapping the geothermal heat below. And in the same way, your covers are trapping your body heat, creating a microclimate of warmth and safety. During the Ice Age, the silence was absolute. There were no engines, no cities, only the wind blowing over the miles of blue-white ice. Tap into that ancient silence. It is a silence that has weight,
a silence that presses against your ears and hushes the internal dialogue. The erratic boulders found in Central Park or on the plains of Montana are rocks that were carried hundreds of miles by the ice and gently set down when the glaciers melted. Imagine that your burdens are erratic boulders. The glacier is picking them up, carrying them far away from you, and depositing them in a distant place where you never have to look at them again. The science of ablation is the loss of ice through melting or sublimation, a natural letting go. Let go of your wakefulness through the ablation of sleep. Let it melt away, drop by drop, turning into a clear stream that flows into the dreaming sea. The temperature of the ice is constant, a steady freezing point that preserves everything perfectly. Sleep is your preservation chamber. It keeps you young, it repairs your cells, it halts the aging process of stress. The snowflakes that form the glacier are distinct and unique, just as the moments of your life are unique. But when they join the glacier, they merge into a single unified mass. Allow your distinct thoughts to merge into the single mass of sleep. Blend them together until you can no longer tell one from the other, until there is only the ice. The sheer vertical walls of a glacial valley like El Capitan are smooth because the ice stripped away all the loose rock, leaving only the strongest core. Sleep strips away the loose emotions, the trivial fears, leaving only the strong core of your true self. The journey of the glacier is a journey of gravity, inevitable and surrender. The ice does not choose to move, it simply surrenders to the pull of the earth. Surrender to that pull. Give up the fight against gravity. Let your eyelids become heavy. Let your arms become heavy. Let your legs become heavy. You are sinking into the mattress just as a heavy stone sinks into the surface of a glacier, held tight by the ice. The term glaciology implies a study of the cold, but for the sleeper, it is a study of comfort. The cold is a contraction, a gathering of energy inward, conservation. In the winter, the world sleeps. The seeds sleep in the frozen ground. The bears sleep in the caves. The glacier moves slowest in the winter. Mimic the winter. Hibernate. Slow your metabolism down to the glacial pace. The majestic slow motion of the ice is a counter-rhythm to the frantic speed of modern life. We are hacking your perception of time, stretching a single second into a minute into an hour. The ice has no concept of being late. It arrives exactly when it arrives. You will wake up exactly when you wake up. For now, there is only the sliding. The friction of the ice against the bedrock creates heat, a secret warmth hidden deep beneath the surface. Feel that secret warmth in your own body, the heat of your blood circulating slowly through your veins, keeping you alive and warm while the outside world is cold. The moraines are the ridges of debris left behind by the glacier, the walls of earth that mark how far the ice traveled. Visualize a terminal moraine at the foot of your bed, a wall that stops the worries of the day from entering your sleeping space.
The ice has no concept of being late. It arrives exactly when it arrives. You will wake up exactly when you wake up. For now, there is only the sliding. The friction of the ice against the bedrock creates heat, a secret warmth hidden deep beneath the surface. Feel that secret warmth in your own body, the heat of your blood circulating slowly through your veins, keeping you alive and warm while the outside world is cold. The moraines are the ridges of debris left behind by the glacier, the walls of earth that mark how far the ice traveled. Visualize a terminal moraine at the foot of your bed, a wall that stops the worries of the day from entering your sleeping space. The ice has pushed them back, pushed them out,
and built a wall to keep them away. Inside the boundary of the moraine, the air is still and the ground is safe. The visual of the blue ice is scientifically proven to be cooling to the brain. It reduces inflammation in the neural pathways. Imagine a block of clear blue glacial ice resting gently on your forehead, soothing the frontal cortex, the part of your brain that plans and worries. The cold melts the worry. The water washes it away. The structure of ice is crystalline, an ordered lattice of molecules. Sleep brings order to your chaotic thoughts, arranging them into a neat crystalline structure so that you can wake up with a clear mind. But that is for tomorrow. For tonight, the ice is still thick. The glacier covers the continent of your consciousness. There is no land in sight, only the endless white horizon of sleep. The crevices in the ice are deep cracks where the blue turns to black. These are the portals to the dream world. You are slipping into a crevice, sliding down into the safe, dark interior of the glacier. Down here, the wind cannot reach you. The sun cannot reach you. You are insulated by hundreds of feet of solid ice. It is the ultimate sensory deprivation. The only thing you can feel is the pressure, the lovely, heavy pressure that holds you together. The hydrological cycle relies on glaciers to store water, to hold it in reserve. Sleep is your reserve. You are banking energy, storing it up like a massive ice sheet stores fresh water. The more you sleep, the bigger your reservoir becomes. The Great Lakes of America were dug out by these massive glaciers, scooped out by the sheer force of the moving ice. Think of the depth of Lake Superior, the cold, dark, quiet water. That space was made by ice. The ice creates capacity. Sleep creates capacity in your mind. The sculpting power of the ice is gentle but firm. It does not hack or chop. It rubs and presses. Let the pillow rub and press against your cheek. Let the mattress press against your back. This is the glacial massage. The landscape of your mind is being terraformed by rest. The sharp peaks of stress are being rounded off into gentle rolling hills. The deep canyons of fear are being filled in with snow. The world is becoming flat, white, and peaceful. The albedo effect of the ice reflects the sunlight, sending the energy back into space. Reflect the energy of the day away from you. Bounce the thoughts off the surface of your mind like sunlight bouncing off a snowfield. Do not absorb them, let them go. The Ice Age was a time of rest for the planet, a time to reset the biological clock. This is your personal Ice Age, your personal reset. The glaciers are moving south, bringing the blanket of sleep with them. They are covering your feet, your legs, your torso, your chest. The cold, heavy blanket is inching up, millimeter by millimeter. It reaches your neck, it reaches your chin, it covers you completely. You are frozen in time, you are preserved in the amber of the ice. The river of ice flows on, silent and unstoppable, carrying you towards the ocean of dreams. The grinding sound fades away, the friction ceases. There is only the smooth, silent gliding. You are one with the glacier. You are the ice. You are the cold. You are the deep. You are the sleep. The valley is carved. The work is done. The motion stops, and the silence is perfect.
Now we ascend from the solid ice into the invisible realm of the atmosphere, climbing higher into the sky where the air becomes thin and the world becomes silent. This is the physics of thin air, a domain where the laws of acoustics change to create a sanctuary of perfect quiet for your mind. As you lie there comfortably, I want you to imagine rising above the heavy, dense atmosphere of the sea level, leaving behind the weight of the thick air that presses against the earth. We are traveling up to the high alpine zone, to an altitude of 10,000, 12,000, 14,000 feet, where the barometric pressure drops and the air molecules spread out, creating vast spaces of emptiness between them. This rarefied air is the secret to the profound silence of the mountains, because sound requires a medium to travel. It needs molecules to bounce off of, and up here, the molecules are few and far between. Science tells us that sound is merely mechanical energy, a vibration passing through the air, but in the thin atmosphere of the high peaks, this energy dissipates rapidly, swallowed by the vastness of the sky. This is not just a poetic silence, it is a mathematical silence, a reduction of decibels governed by the laws of physics. As the air density decreases, the capacity for sound transmission weakens, specifically for the high-frequency sounds that usually distract us. The sharp noises of the city, the sirens, the alarms, they all fade away, unable to climb this high. What remains is a dead silence, a term used in acoustic engineering to describe a space with no reverberation, no echo, just pure absorption. Visualize yourself standing on the summit of a peak in the Colorado Rockies, surrounded by this dead silence, which is not frightening, but incredibly peaceful, like standing inside a soundproof recording studio designed by nature. The lack of air scattering means that sound does not bounce around. It simply travels out into the void and disappears, taking your stressful thoughts with it. Your thoughts are just electrical impulses, vibrations in the brain, and in this high-altitude environment, they too encounter the physics of thin air, finding no resistance, no friction, simply drifting away into the blue. The atmosphere here is crisp and dry, devoid of the humidity that carries sound in the lowlands. Water vapor in the air can amplify noise, but here the air is desiccated, pure, and acoustically dead. This dryness feels clean in your lungs, a purifying breath that clears out the mental fog. As you breathe in this imaginary mountain air, visualize the oxygen molecules entering your bloodstream, not in a rush, but with a slow, deliberate efficiency. The body adapts to high altitude by slowing down, by conserving energy, and you are mimicking this physiological shift. Your heart rate slows to the rhythm of the thin air. Your movements become deliberate and calm. The chaotic scattering of light is also different up here. In the lower atmosphere, the air scatters the sunlight, creating a bright, hazy blue. But as you go higher into the upper troposphere and near the stratosphere, the scattering is reduced. The sky turns a deeper, darker shade of blue, eventually fading into a twilight violet even at midday. This darkening of the sky is a visual cue for sleep, a signal to your pineal gland to produce melatonin. Imagine the sky above you darkening, turning from a bright, stressful azure to a calm, deep indigo, the color of deep rest. You are floating in a layer of the atmosphere where turbulence is minimized. Pilots call this smooth air, where the plane glides without a tremor. You are in the smooth air now. The turbulence of your day has been left far below in the dense, chaotic lower atmosphere. Up here, the air flows in laminar streamlines, smooth, parallel layers of gas that slide over one another without mixing. Let your thoughts align into these laminar flows, unhurried and parallel, moving in one direction towards sleep.
The concept of mean free path in physics describes the average distance a molecule travels before colliding with another molecule. In the high mountains, this distance increases. There are fewer collisions, fewer conflicts, more space. Apply this physics to your mind. Create more space between your thoughts. Increase your mean free path. Let a thought travel for a long time without hitting another worry, drifting in the spaciousness of the high-altitude mind. The silence of the mountain is often described as a ringing silence, a quiet so deep that you can almost hear the operation of your own nervous system, a soft hum of existence that is the background radiation of your life. This is the sound of you being alive, the sound of you being safe. The acoustic shadow is a phenomenon where a mountain blocks the passage of sound waves, creating a zone of total quiet behind it. You are resting in the acoustic shadow of the Earth itself. The planet has turned its back on the sun and the noise, shielding you from the radiation of the day. The thin air offers less resistance to movement, making you feel lighter. You are shedding the heavy atmospheric suit you wear during the day. You are weightless, buoyant, suspended in the rarefied gas. The pressure on your skin is reduced. The pressure on your mind is reduced. It is a scientific fact that boiling points are lower at high altitudes. Water boils with less heat. In a metaphorical sense, this means you do not need as much energy to reach a state of change, a state of sleep. It happens easier up here. The transition from waking to sleeping is a phase change that requires less effort in the thin air. You simply evaporate into the dream world. The clarity of the light at high altitude is due to the lack of particulate matter, the dust and smog that clouds our vision. In this sleep story, we have ascended above the smog of anxiety. The view is clear. The horizon is infinite. You can see forever, but there is nothing you need to see. You can just close your eyes and feel the clarity. The stillness of the air is known as calm wind in meteorology, represented by a circle on a weather map. You are that circle, a 0 point of wind, a point of absolute stillness. The jet stream flows miles above you, a river of wind that circles the globe. But down here on the peak, in the friction layer of the mountain, the air is trapped in the pockets of stone, still and sleeping. We are using the physics of the atmosphere to create a vacuum around your consciousness. A vacuum is a space entirely devoid of matter. While we cannot survive in a true vacuum, we can create a mental vacuum, a space devoid of clutter. The thin air helps us visualize this emptying out. As the air gets thinner, the distinction between the earth and space begins to blur. You are on the edge of the cosmos. The stars do not twinkle up here because there is not enough air to distort their light. They stare down at you with a steady, unblinking gaze. The steadiness of the starlight is hypnotic. Fix your inner gaze on a single steady star. It does not waver, it does not flicker, it is constant. Be constant like the star. The lack of oxygen at extreme altitudes can cause a sense of euphoria, a light-headed drifting sensation. While we remain safe in our beds, we borrow that feeling of floating, of a pleasant detachment from reality. The brain stops processing complex logic and switches to a primitive, intuitive mode. You do not need logic tonight. You need physics, the physics of rest. The temperature lapse rate tells us that for every 1,000 feet we climb, the temperature drops about 3.5 degrees Fahrenheit. We have climbed high, and the air is deliciously cold. This coldness contracts the blood vessels, drawing the warmth inward to your core.
Wrapping your heart in a blanket of heat, while your skin feels the refreshing cool of the mountain night. This is the perfect thermal regulation for hibernation. The silence is not empty, it is heavy. It presses against your eardrums with a soft pressure. It is the pressure of absence, the absence of cars, the absence of voices, the absence of machines. The only sound is the sound of the wind friction against the granite peaks, a white noise that is statistically random and incredibly soothing to the human brain. It is a shh sound from the planet itself. The earth is hushing you. Shh, sleep now. The atmosphere is the blanket of the earth, protecting us from the cold vacuum of space, and tonight you have pulled that blanket up to your chin. But up here, the blanket is thin, light as a feather, keeping you warm without weighing you down. The transparency of the air allows the heat of the day to escape rapidly into space, a process called radiative cooling. Feel your body radiating the heat of the day, the stress of the day, releasing it upwards into the infinite black sink of the universe. The universe absorbs it all and remains unchanged. You are small. The atmosphere is vast. This scale is comforting. You do not have to hold it all. The sky holds it. The scientific concept of scale height defines how quickly the atmosphere fades away. Your wakefulness is fading away according to the same exponential decay. Less and less awake, more and more asleep, half as awake, quarter as awake, fading, fading. The density of the air matches the density of your thoughts, thin, wispy, cloud-like. You are passing through a lenticular cloud, a lens-shaped cloud that sits motionless over the mountain peak. Inside the cloud, it is white, silent, and damp. You are hidden from the world below. No one can see you. No one can find you. You are off the radar. You are a ghost in the machine of the atmosphere. The pressure gradient force is zero. There is no wind to push you. You are in equilibrium with the sky. The physics of thin air is the physics of letting go. You cannot hold on to a handful of air. It slips through your fingers. Do not try to hold on to this moment. Let it slip. Let it drift. The air is so clean it feels sterile, washing your mind of any negative thoughts. They cannot survive in this altitude. They need the heavy, dirty air of the lowlands. You are above them. You are safe. The auditory system rests when there is no input. The hair cells in your inner ear stop vibrating. The auditory nerve stops firing. The auditory cortex goes dark. This is the neurology of silence. The mountain induces this shutdown naturally. You are shutting down. The lights of the valley are far below, tiny specks of yellow that do not reach you. You are alone with the physics of the universe, the stars, the stone, the ice, and the thin, cold, silent air. This is the atmosphere of sleep. Breathe it in. Let it fill the spaces in your mind. Let it replace the noise with the mathematical perfection of zero. Zero noise, zero stress, zero effort. Just the slow, rhythmic expansion of your lungs in the high, thin air. You are floating. You are drifting. You are sleeping.
High in the white mountains of California and across the scattered peaks of the Great Basin, there is a silence so profound that it feels like a heavy blanket resting upon the earth. The air here is thin and crisp and carries the scent of ancient resin and dry stone. In this high-altitude wilderness, where the soil is white dolomite and the wind sings through the canyons, live the Great Basin bristlecone pines. They are the ancient watchers of our world and the oldest living non-clonal organisms on the planet. Some of these twisted and gnarled sentinels have stood on these slopes for over 4,000 years. To understand their story is to understand the slow and steady rhythm of time itself. Imagine yourself standing there now as the sun begins to set behind the jagged horizon. The light turns soft and golden, casting long shadows across the rocky ground. The wind has died down to a gentle whisper. You are safe here, surrounded by the stillness of the ages. These trees do not rush. They do not strive for height or canopy spread like the trees in the valleys below.
Instead, they focus on endurance. They have mastered the art of patience. A seed fell onto this white, rocky soil thousands of years ago, perhaps when the great pyramids of Egypt were just being imagined, or when the first stones of Stonehenge were being raised. While human civilizations rose and fell, this single seed sent a taproot down into the fractured rock, seeking moisture that seemed non-existent. It found enough to survive, just enough. Year after year, the seedling grew, but its growth was imperceptible to the human eye. In the harsh conditions of the high mountains, the growing season is short, sometimes lasting only 40 days. During this brief window, the tree adds a microscopic layer of wood to its trunk. This wood is incredibly dense and resinous. It is so hard that it feels more like stone than timber. This density is their armor. Insects cannot bore into it, and rot cannot take hold. The tree protects itself by becoming as tough as the mountain it stands upon. As you breathe in slowly and deeply, imagine the passage of centuries as if they were merely moments. The tree grew while the Roman Empire expanded across Europe, and it stood firm as that empire crumbled into dust. It was already ancient when the Vikings set sail across the icy oceans. It was a silent witness to the Renaissance and the Industrial Revolution. Throughout all the noise and chaos of human history, the bristlecone pine remained here, in the silence of the Great Basin, doing exactly what it is doing right now, simply being. One of the most fascinating secrets of these trees is their ability to stop growing without dying. They enter a state of dormant resilience that defies our understanding of life. When the climate becomes too dry or the nutrients too scarce, the tree does not perish entirely. Instead, it employs a strategy known as sectorial architecture. The tree allows large portions of itself to go dormant. The bark may strip away, and the wood may bleach white in the sun until it looks like polished bone. To the casual observer, the tree might appear dead, but a thin strip of living bark and tissue remains, connecting the roots to a few green needles. This lifeline sustains the tree for centuries, waiting for better conditions. It retreats into itself, conserving every ounce of energy. It is a profound lesson in rest. Just as you are resting now, the tree knows that there are times to expand and times to be still. It does not fight the environment, but adapts to it. The wind here is a constant sculptor. Over thousands of years, the blowing ice and sand act like sandpaper, polishing the wood into beautiful, twisted forms. The grain of the wood swirls and turns, revealing the history of storms that passed through long ago. This is dendrochronology, the science of reading time through the rings of the tree. Each ring is a memory. A wide ring tells of a wet year where the snowmelt was plentiful. A narrow ring tells of a drought where the tree had to hold on tight. Scientists can look at these rings and reconstruct the climate history of the entire world. They can see volcanic eruptions that darkened the skies and years of scorching sun. The tree remembers everything. It holds the climate of the earth within its heartwood. Yet it carries this burden with effortless grace. It stands anchored in the scree and rock, unmoved by the fleeting worries of the world below. As the twilight deepens into night, the sky above the mountains turns a deep velvet blue. The stars begin to appear one by one, first Sirius, then the bright planets, and finally the wash of the Milky Way stretching across the heavens. The air grows cooler, but it is a comfortable dry cold that makes you want to curl up under a warm blanket. The silence amplifies. In this silence, the presence of the bristlecone pines feels protective. They are the guardians of the night. They have seen over 1 million sunrises and sunsets. They have watched the constellations shift slowly in the sky over millennia. Standing next to one of these giants, you realize that time is not a race. There is no need to hurry. The tree is content to grow only an inch in 100 years. It teaches us that survival is not about speed, but about resilience and inner strength. The dead wood of the tree, which creates those stunning gold and orange colors against the blue sky, is just as important as the living wood. It provides structure and stability. It protects the living strip of bark from the wind. The tree embraces its own history, wearing its past like a crown. As you drift deeper into relaxation, picture the texture of the wood. It is smooth in places, worn by the wind, and rough in others where the bark still clings. The needles are short and sturdy, clustered in tight bunches that look like bottle brushes. They can remain on the tree for 40 years, making them the longest-lived leaves of any plant. Everything here is built to last. Everything here values longevity over temporary beauty. The landscape is minimal and stark, but within that starkness lies a profound beauty. It is a beauty of form and line and shadow. The moon rises over the ridge, casting a silver glow on the white dolomite soil. The twisted trunks of the pines cast surreal shadows that look like dancers frozen in time. These trees act as a bridge between the earth and the sky. Their roots grip the ancient rock, while their branches reach for the eternal stars. They are the stillness in a moving world. Even now, as you listen, the tree is slowly, very slowly respiring. It is alive in the quietest way possible. It draws in the mountain air and releases fresh oxygen. It is connected to the other trees through a fungal network in the soil, a silent community of ancients. They have stood together through the ice ages and the warming periods. They have watched the lakes in the basin fill with water and dry up into salt flats. They have watched the glaciers carve the valleys and retreat. Through it all, they have remained. They are the ultimate symbols of endurance. If a piece of the tree falls, it does not decay. The air is so dry and cold that the wood can lie on the ground for another 4,000 years, perfectly preserved. This means that walking through a grove of bristlecone pines is walking through 10,000 years of history. The wood on the ground is older than most civilizations. It creates a connection to the past that is tangible and real. You can touch eternity here. The feeling of the place is one of absolute peace. There are no distractions. There is only the wind, the stone, and the trees. It is the perfect place to let go of the day. Just as the tree lets go of the need to grow fast, you can let go of the need to do anything. You can simply be. You can enter your own state of dormant resilience, where your body repairs itself and your mind finds quiet. The tree supports you in this. It stands watch so you do not have to. It has watched history pass in silence, and it will continue to watch long after we are gone. This thought is not sad, but comforting. It means that there is something enduring in this world. There is something that outlasts the noise. The Great Basin bristlecone pine is a testament to the power of slow, steady living. It does not panic when the rain does not come. It waits. It does not fear the winter. It endures. It creates beauty out of struggle. The twists and turns of its trunk are the physical manifestation of its survival. They are the scars of the wind turned into art. As the night fully takes hold, the mountains seem to sleep as well. The shadows merge into a single embracing darkness. The only light comes from the galaxy spinning overhead. The tree stands silhouetted against this cosmic backdrop. It is a silhouette that has remained unchanged for centuries. Methuselah, one of the oldest known trees, hides somewhere in this forest, its exact location a secret to protect it.
It is over 4,800 years old. Imagine the wisdom held within its fibers. It was a sapling before the alphabet was invented. It was young when humans were just learning to write down their history. Now it stands in the moonlight, a silent elder of the earth. The energy of the mountain is grounding. It pulls any tension out of your body and down into the earth. You feel heavy and relaxed. You feel rooted like the tree. Your breathing creates a rhythm that matches the slow pulse of the mountain. In and out, slow and steady. The air is pure and clean. It fills your lungs with the essence of high-altitude pine. It is a healing scent. The cold preserves, the silence restores. You are drifting through the grove now in your mind's eye, passing these ancient sculptures.
Some look like old men with bent backs. Some look like flames frozen in wood. Some look like abstract monuments to time. They are all silent. They are all at peace. The struggle for survival here is not a violent battle, but a quiet persistence. It is a daily choice to keep standing. And tonight, you can choose to rest. You can choose to let the world turn without you for a while. The bristlecone pine will keep watching. It will witness the moon travel across the sky. It will witness the constellations wheel overhead. It will feel the temperature drop and the frost form on its needles. It will remain standing tall and strong. You are part of this natural world. You are connected to this resilience. Deep within you, there is a strength that is just as enduring. But for now, that strength is in resting. It is in gathering resources. It is in the quiet moments of sleep. The story of the bristlecone is the story of life finding a way. It is the story of finding peace in harsh places. It is the story of the beauty of age. As the hours of the night pass, the tree enters a state of minimal activity. It saves its energy. It becomes one with the stone. It is a living rock, a breathing mountain. The separation between the earth and the tree blurs. They are one entity, and you are one with this calmness. The stars shine down with a steady, unblinking light. The wind whispers a lullaby that is older than words. It is the sound of the earth breathing. It is the sound of time passing. It is a sound that lulls you deeper and deeper into sleep. The Great Basin is a sanctuary of shadow and starlight. The white rocks glow softly. The ancient wood absorbs the silence. There is no time here. There is only the present moment, the now, the eternal now of the mountain. Sleep comes easily in such a place. It comes like a drifting snow, covering everything in a soft white blanket of peace. The trees stand guard. They are the watchers. They have watched for 4,000 years, and they are not tired. They are patient. They will watch over your dreams tonight. They will ensure that the silence remains unbroken. They will hold the memory of the world while you sleep. Let the image of the twisted ancient wood fade gently from your mind. Let the feeling of the cold mountain air soften into warmth. Let the vision of the stars blur into darkness. You are safe. You are rested. You are part of the timeless story of the earth. The bristlecone pine stands. The wind blows. The stars turn. And you sleep. Deep, restful sleep. The ancient watchers are with you. The silence is yours. The night is yours. Rest now in the shadow of the ancients. Sleep in the peace of the high mountains. Good night.
High above the earth in the quiet and cold expanse of the upper atmosphere, a tiny miracle of physics is taking place.
It begins with a single molecule of water vapor suspended in the thin air. As the temperature drops, the kinetic energy of the molecule decreases, and it can no longer move freely as a gas. It slows down. It begins to bond with other molecules nearby. This is the process of crystallization. Order emerges from chaos. In the silence of the stratosphere, a hexagonal lattice forms. It is a structure of perfect geometry born from the laws of thermodynamics. This is the birth of a snowflake. It is a microscopic architecture of ice growing arm by arm in the freezing darkness. It becomes heavier than the air around it, and gravity asserts its gentle pull. The journey begins. The snowflake starts to fall. It drifts down through layers of the atmosphere, dancing on invisible currents of air. It falls through clouds that are silent and gray. It falls through the biting cold of the jet stream. There is no sound here, only the sensation of weightlessness and the slow descent. Down and down it drifts. It is one of billions, each unique, yet all obeying the same physical laws. Below lies the rugged spine of the Rocky Mountains, a landscape of granite and stone, sleeping under the winter sky. The snowflake continues its long fall, destined for a high peak. It lands softly on a snowpack that is already deep and white. It settles into place, interlocking with its neighbors. The journey of flight is over, and the phase of stasis begins. Here, the snowflake becomes part of something larger. It is no longer an individual crystal, but a structural component of the winter blanket. The air pockets between the crystals act as insulation, keeping the ground below from freezing completely. This is the physics of snow. It is a state of waiting. The days pass into weeks, and the weeks into months. The sun arcs low across the southern sky, providing little heat. The snowflake remains frozen, locked in its solid phase. It is a time of rest, a time of dormant potential. The wind may howl over the ridges, but deep within the snowpack, there is only silence and pressure. The weight of new snow falling above presses down, compacting the layers. The snowflake is compressed, changing its shape slightly, but holding its essence. It is a reservoir of water waiting to be released. And then, slowly, the season begins to turn. The earth tilts on its axis. The sun climbs higher. The days lengthen. Photons of light travel 93 million miles to strike the surface of the snow. They carry energy. This energy is absorbed by the ice crystals. The molecules begin to vibrate. They hum with the influx of heat. The temperature of the snowpack rises until it reaches the critical threshold of 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. This is the melting point. The magic of phase change begins. The rigid bonds that held the water molecules in a solid lattice begin to loosen. They can no longer hold their shape against the rising energy. The solid structure collapses. The snowflake is no longer ice. It has transformed. It has become a droplet of liquid water. This is the release of latent heat. It is a quiet revolution. The droplet is free. Gravity, which held it to the mountain, now pulls it downward in a different way. It begins to trickle through the layers of snow that are still frozen. It follows the path of least resistance. It slides over crystals and through microscopic channels. It joins with other droplets. Together, they form a tiny vein of water moving through the dark interior of the snowpack. It is a journey from the white surface down to the dark earth. The sound of this phase is a soft whisper. Drip, drip, trickle.
It reaches the bottom of the snowpack and touches the raw granite of the mountain. It flows over the cold stone, moving downhill. It gathers in a small depression, forming a pool of meltwater. The sun warms it further. The water is clear and pure, filtered by the very process of its creation.
It spills over the edge of the stone and begins to run. It finds a crack in the rock. It slips inside. Now the journey turns inward. The water enters the subsurface. It moves into the soil, into the dark and cool world of the underground. This is the zone of percolation. The water moves through the pores of the soil, squeezing between grains of sand and particles of clay. It is a slow and deliberate movement. There is no rushing here. The earth acts as a giant sponge, absorbing the meltwater. The physics of capillary action helps to draw the water deeper. It moves down through the root systems of sleeping wildflowers and ancient pine trees. It touches the dormant seeds waiting for spring. It gives a small amount of itself to the life around it, but the main body of water continues down. It seeks the water table. It seeks the deep aquifer. The light of the sun is gone now. There is only the cool, dark embrace of the earth. The temperature stabilizes. It is a constant, soothing cool. The water droplet travels through fractures in the bedrock. These are the veins of the mountain. It moves inches by day, sometimes feet by year. It is a movement so slow it feels like stillness. This is the patience of the hydrologic cycle. The water is being purified. The soil and rock strip away impurities, leaving only the essential hydrogen and oxygen. It is becoming mineral water, enriched by the stone it touches. It joins a vast underground reservoir, an aquifer. This is a sea of fresh water hidden beneath the land. Here, the water rests. It mixes with water that fell as snow 10 years ago, or 100 years ago, or even 1,000 years ago. It becomes part of the ancient memory of the earth. There is a profound sense of community here in the deep dark. All the drops that fell from the sky are reunited in this subterranean chamber. The pressure is steady. The flow is almost imperceptible. It is a state of liquid suspension. You can imagine the sound of the water here. It is not a splash or a crash, but a low, resonant hum of the earth. It is the sound of silence made liquid. The water fills the spaces in the limestone and the sandstone. It saturates the rock. It is held safe. The storms may rage above on the surface. The winds may blow. The seasons may change from summer heat to autumn chill. But down here in the aquifer, nothing changes. It is a sanctuary. The water waits. It is part of a cycle that has no beginning and no end. It is the blood of the planet moving through its rocky veins. Physics dictates that it must keep moving, however slowly. It follows the gradient of the land, flowing towards the distant valleys. It might take a century for this single droplet to see the light of day again. It is in no hurry. It has time. It understands that the journey is the destination. The phase change from solid to liquid was just one step. The percolation through the soil was another. Now is the time of deep flow. It travels under the forests, where deer walk softly on the pine needles. It travels under the meadows, where the grass waves in the wind. It travels under the rivers that rush on the surface. It is the hidden support, the invisible reserve. Feel the weight of the water. It is heavy and grounding. It is substantial. It supports the land above it. It creates pressure that keeps the springs flowing. Somewhere far away in a green valley, a spring bubbles up from the ground.
This is the re-emergence. But for our droplet, that is a distant future. For now, it is content to be in the dark. It is content to be part of the flow. The hydrogen bonds break and reform as it slides past grains of quartz and mica. It is a fluid dance of chemistry. The water molecule is stable and strong. It has survived the freeze of the upper atmosphere. It has survived the fall. It has survived the melt. It is resilient, just as you are resilient. The cycle of renewal is constant. Nothing is ever lost. It simply changes form. Ice becomes water, water becomes vapor, vapor becomes ice. It is the heartbeat of the world, a slow, rhythmic pulse that sustains all life. Focus on the fluidity, the ease with which water adapts to its container. It does not fight the rock. It flows around it. It finds the open space. It is soft, yet it is powerful enough to carve canyons over millions of years. This persistence is its strength. In the aquifer, the water is clear and cold. It is perfectly still in some places, held in pockets of stone. In other places, it drifts like a lazy river. It is a world without light, but full of life-giving potential. Imagine yourself drifting with this current, weightless, supported, cool, dark. You are moving through the foundations of the earth. You are safe in the bedrock. The noise of the surface world cannot reach you here. There are no deadlines, there are no demands. There is only the physics of flow, the gentle pull of gravity guiding you towards rest. The water molecules brush against the stone, polishing it, smoothing it. The friction is microscopic. The process is eternal. Millions of tons of water sit quietly beneath the mountains, a vast hidden ocean. It is the Earth's savings account of moisture. It is there when it is needed, but mostly it sleeps. It sleeps in the pores of the rock. It sleeps in the fractures of the granite. It sleeps in the deep sands. The journey of the single snowflake has led to this, a deep and restorative rest. It has gone from the freedom of the sky to the community of the snowpack to the solitude of the aquifer. It has changed phases. It has released energy. It has absorbed energy. It is a dynamic balance. And now it rests. The cycle continues, but for this moment there is a pause, a long, slow pause in the darkness. The water is pure. It is clean. It is refreshed. It is ready to rest for as long as it takes. Let the image of the flowing water soothe your mind. Let the repetitive nature of the cycle lull you to sleep. Round and round it goes, sky to mountain, mountain to river, river to ocean, ocean to sky. But the part of the cycle that matters now is the resting part, the underground part, the quiet part. The water is heavy. Your eyelids are heavy. The water is slow. Your breathing is slow. The water is deep. Your sleep is deep. The physics of the earth are holding you. The chemistry of life is sustaining you. You are like the water. You can change phases. You can be active and you can be still. And now is the time to be still, to sink down into the comfortable dark, to flow effortlessly into the realm of dreams. The snowflake is a memory. The meltwater is a memory. Now there is only the aquifer, the deep, silent water, resting, waiting, being. The earth wraps around you like the layers of rock wrap around the water. You are protected. You are insulated. You are at peace. The journey is long, but there is no rush to finish it. The water moves one molecule at a time, one moment at a time, one breath at a time. Listen to the silence of the underground. It is a thick velvet silence. It is the sound of peace. The hydrologic cycle will continue tomorrow and the day after, and for 1 billion years to come. It does not need you to watch it. It works on its own. It allows you to let go, to drift, to float, to dissolve into the comfort of sleep. The water is clear. The night is dark. The cycle is endless. And you are resting. You are sleeping. You are part of the flow. Deep, slow, silent sleep.
Deep beneath the soil and the sediment upon which our cities rest lies the true foundation of the continents, which is granite.
It is a rock of immense density and age, born from the cooling of magma deep within the Earth's crust. Tonight, we turn our minds to the physics of this stone and the invisible force it exerts upon you. We speak of gravity, not just as a theory, but as a physical sensation of comfort and heaviness. Imagine yourself lying on a surface of solid rock, not cold and hard, but supportive and unyielding. This is the bedrock. Granite is an igneous rock composed mainly of quartz and feldspar and mica. It is crystalline and interlocking. The crystals grew slowly over millions of years as the molten rock cooled deep underground. Because they grew under such immense pressure, there are no empty spaces within the stone. It is solid matter. It is dense. The specific gravity of granite is approximately 2.7 grams per cubic centimeter. This means it is nearly 3 times heavier than water. Imagine holding a cube of this stone in your hand. Feel its substantial weight. It pulls your hand down. Now imagine a mountain made of this stone, a mountain like El Capitan in Yosemite or the Great Peaks of the Rockies. These are not just piles of dirt, they are massive monoliths of heavy, dense granite. In physics, we know that every object in the universe attracts every other object. This is the law of universal gravitation. The more massive the object, the stronger the pull. Usually, we only think of the Earth as a whole pulling us down, but science tells us that mountains themselves have their own gravitational fields. This is called a gravitational anomaly. When you are near a massive mountain range, the gravity is actually slightly stronger than it is over the open ocean. The sheer mass of the granite adds to the pull. Imagine that you are lying at the foot of a great granite mountain range. The millions of tons of rock towering above you and rooting deep beneath you are exerting a subtle but powerful force. They are calling to your body. They are pulling you closer to the earth. This is a comforting thought. It means you do not have to hold yourself up. You do not have to tense your muscles. The earth is doing the work for you. The earth is holding you. Feel the mattress beneath you. It is the interface between your body and the planet. Feel the weight of your own body pressing down into the mattress. This is gravity acting upon you. It is a constant embrace. Gravity is the most reliable force in our lives. It never wavers, it never sleeps. It is always there, holding you safe, preventing you from floating away into the cold void of space. It anchors you. Now, focus on your legs. Feel the large bones of your legs, the femur and the tibia. They are dense too. Feel gravity taking hold of them. Your legs feel heavy, so very heavy. It is as if they have turned to granite themselves. They are sinking into the bed, sinking down towards the center of the earth. You could not lift them if you tried, and you do not want to try. It feels too good to just let them be heavy. Now, focus on your arms, your hands, your fingers. They are resting by your sides. The gravity pulls on them gently. The tension leaves your shoulders and flows down your arms and out of your fingertips. It flows into the ground. Your arms feel like lead. They feel like heavy stone statues resting in the sand. This heaviness is relaxation. This heaviness is the absence of effort. The granite mountains of the American West have deep roots. This is the principle of isostasy. Just as an iceberg floats in the water with most of its mass beneath the surface, a mountain floats on the Earth's mantle with deep roots of granite extending miles downwards.
These roots anchor the crust. Think of how stable that is, how unmovable. You are connected to that stability. You are anchored.
The earth is a heavy blanket wrapped around the core, and you are tucked under the blanket of the atmosphere, held tight by the blanket of gravity. There is a specific comfort in the feeling of weight. It is why we like heavy quilts in winter. It signals to our nervous system that we are safe. Tonight, let the planet itself be your weighted blanket. The pull you feel is the combined mass of 6 sextillion tons of rock and iron. That is the mass of the earth. It is all pulling on you, gently, evenly, loving you with the language of physics. The density of the granite ensures that the pull is strong. There are no hollows here. There is only solid, secure matter. Let your hips sink. Let your spine sink. Vertebra by vertebra, let your back flatten and release. The curve of your neck relaxes. Your head, which holds all your thoughts and worries, is heavy. Let it drop back into the pillow. The pillow supports it, just as the granite bedrock supports the soil. The thoughts in your head are becoming heavy too. They are losing their ability to fly around. They are settling like sediment in a calm lake. They are turning into stone, quiet and still. The physics of phase changes tells us that as things cool, they become more solid. Your mind is cooling. The heat of the day is dissipating. The frantic energy is slowing down. You are entering a solid state of rest, a granite state of mind, unshakable, ancient. The mountains do not rush. They do not worry about time. To a rock, 1,000 years is like a blink of an eye. This is the timeline you are entering now, geologic time. It is slow and deep. In this state, there is no urgency. There is no tomorrow to worry about. There is only the eternal present. The pull of gravity is the only thing that matters. It is drawing your eyelids down. They feel so heavy, like curtains made of velvet and lead. You close them and the world goes dark. In the darkness, you can feel the mass of the earth even more. It is a hum, a low-frequency vibration of existence. The granite under the crust is singing a song of silence. It is a song of pressure and time. The pressure is good. It squeezes out the stress. It grounds you. Imagine a single crystal of quartz deep inside a piece of granite. It is six-sided. It is clear. It is perfectly still. It has been sitting in that spot for 100 million years. It is completely at peace. You are that crystal. You are encased in the safety of your room, the safety of your home, the safety of the earth. Nothing can disturb you. You are part of the rock. The gravity that pulls on the crystal pulls on you. It unifies you with the planet. The specific density of your body is much less than the rock, which is why the rock supports you. You float upon it. But tonight, you feel like you are merging with it. The boundary between you and the bed is dissolving. You are sinking deeper, down, 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 into the warm, dark crust. It is safe here. It is quiet. The deeper you go, the heavier you feel, and the heavier you feel, the better you sleep. It is a law of nature. A body at rest tends to stay at rest. This is inertia. You are a body at rest. You have no desire to move. You have no desire to resist the gravity. You surrender to it. You give up control. You let the physics take over. The earth knows how to hold you. It has held billions of people before you. It holds the oceans in their basins. It holds the atmosphere to the sky. It can certainly hold you and your dreams. Feel the muscles in your face relax. The jaw unhinges slightly. The tongue rests on the floor of the mouth. The forehead smooths out like a polished stone. The expression on your face is one of total neutrality. Like a statue carved from granite, you are timeless. You are observing the silence. The silence is heavy too. It has weight. It presses against your ears, blocking out the noise. The heavy blanket of the earth is tucked in tight. There are no drafts. There is no cold. There is only the warm, solid pull of the center of the planet. The core is iron and nickel, solid and spinning, creating the magnetic field that protects us. But it is the mass that creates the gravity. Every atom in your body is being called home by the atoms in the earth. It is a reunion of matter. We are made of stardust, but we are children of the earth, and the earth wants to hold its children close. Sleep is the time when we listen to this call. We lie down, we lower our center of gravity, we become stable. You are the most stable you have been all day. You are horizontal, you are aligned with the horizon. The granite mountains stand vertical, reaching for the stars, but they can only do so because their foundation is so deep and wide. You are building your foundation now. This sleep is your bedrock. It will support you tomorrow, but for now, you must build it. You must let it harden. You must let it set. Layer by layer, hour by hour, the sleep becomes denser, deeper, heavier. The dreams that come will be slow and drifting. They will not be frantic. They will be geological dreams. Dreams of slow rivers and shifting continents and clouds passing over stone peaks. The pull is irresistible now. You could not open your eyes if you wanted to. The gravity is too strong. It is a sweet, heavy syrup pouring over you. It coats your limbs. It fills your mind. It slows your heart rate. Your heart beats with the slow rhythm of a dormant volcano. Thump, thump, thump. Slow and strong, pumping the heavy blood through your heavy veins. The oxygen reaches your muscles and tells them to let go, to release the lactic acid, to release the tension, to become soft, to become heavy. The paradox of the granite is that it is hard, but it makes you feel soft. It is rigid, but it makes you feel fluid. You are flowing down towards the center. The gravitational anomaly is centered right under your bed. It is a special vortex of sleepiness, a concentration of mass that is pulling you specifically. It is saying, rest now. It is saying, stop. It is saying, be still. The physics are undeniable. You cannot fight gravity. You can only accept it. And in the acceptance, there is peace. In the surrender, there is freedom. You are free from the need to hold on. The earth holds on for you. The granite holds on for you. The ancient rocks of the Sierra and the Appalachians and the Rockies are standing guard. They are the heavy sentinels of the night. They block the wind. They anchor the sky. They watch over you. Their density is your security. Their mass is your comfort. You are small, and the earth is big. You are light, and the earth is heavy. Let the big, heavy earth take your burden. Give it all your weight, every ounce of it. Don't hold anything back. Sink into the mattress. Sink into the floor. Sink into the foundation. Sink into the bedrock. Sink into the granite. It is dark and cool and silent. It is the perfect place to sleep. The journey downwards is a journey into peace. The deeper you go, the quieter it gets. The gravity gets stronger the closer you get to the center, pulling you deeper into sleep, deeper into the heavy blanket. The blanket is made of rock and soil and magma and iron. It is a shield. It shields you from the light. It shields you from the noise. You are buried in comfort. You are fossilized in rest. The time for thinking is over. The time for feeling is over. Now is the time for physics. Now is the time for gravity. Now is the time for stone. Be the stone, be the granite, be heavy, be still, be ancient. The night stretches out before you like a vast continent of time. You have hours and hours to just lie here and be heavy. There is nothing else to do. The earth has you, gravity has you, sleep has you. Let go, let go, let go. Down into the deep, down into the dark, down into the heavy. The granite awaits, the sleep awaits. Heavy, slow, deep. Good night.
As the sun begins its descent towards the western horizon in the great mountain ranges of the American West, a geometric transformation takes place that changes the very nature of the day. We are entering the shadow zone. This is a place where the laws of physics and the angles of light conspire to create a sanctuary of absolute peace. Imagine yourself standing in a high valley surrounded by jagged peaks. The sun is still technically in the sky, but it is dipped behind the massive granite wall of the mountain range. This is the geometry of the sunset. The mountain acts as a giant sundial, casting a long triangular shadow across the valley floor. You watch as the line of darkness moves slowly and steadily across the landscape. It is a precise movement governed by the rotation of the earth. It is predictable. It is orderly. There is a deep comfort in this order. In the chaotic world of human affairs, things are often unpredictable, but here in the shadow zone, the universe follows a strict set of rules. The line of shadow touches a pine tree, and the tree goes dark. It touches a boulder, and the boulder goes dark. It touches you, and you feel the immediate drop in temperature. This is the first gift of the mountain. It brings the night to you early. It grants you extra hours of darkness and rest. You are shielded from the direct intensity of the solar rays. The air around you begins to cool rapidly. This is not a harsh cold, but a crisp, clarifying coolness. It settles on your skin and signals to your body that the time for activity is over. The science behind this clarity is known as the rain shadow effect. It is a meteorological phenomenon that purifies the air. As moist air masses move in from the Pacific Ocean, they are forced to rise up the western slopes of the mountains. As the air rises, it cools and condenses, dropping its moisture as rain or snow on the windward side. By the time the air crosses the peak and descends into the valley where you are, it is dry. It has been scrubbed clean. This descending air warms slightly due to compression, a process called adiabatic heating, but it remains incredibly dry. This dryness is the secret to the perfect night. Water vapor in the air acts like a blanket, trapping heat and blurring vision. But here in the rain shadow, the air is like a lens. It is perfectly transparent. There is no humidity to hold on to the haze. There is no moisture to distort the light. When you look around, the edges of the world seem sharper. The silhouette of the mountain against the twilight sky is etched with razor-sharp precision. This visual clarity translates into mental clarity. The fog in your mind clears, just as the fog in the air is absent. You can think clearly, or better yet, you can choose not to think at all. You can simply observe the geometry of the twilight. The sky above is transitioning through a spectrum of colors that only exist in these high, dry places. It moves from a pale cobalt to a deep royal blue, and then into the purple of the edge of space. This is the Earth's shadow rising in the east, a band of dark blue sitting on the horizon opposite the sunset. It is the physical shadow of our planet projected onto the atmosphere. You are witnessing the mechanics of the solar system. You are standing on a spinning sphere that is turning away from its star. The mountain you are resting near acts as a shield. This is the second gift of the shadow zone. It blocks the light pollution from the distant cities. The sodium glare of civilization cannot penetrate the mass of rock.
The chaotic light of billboards and street lamps and traffic is stopped dead by the granite barrier. You are protected. You are hidden. In this shadow, you are invisible to the demands of the world.
The mountain stands between you and the noise. It is a massive acoustic and visual dampener. Silence fills the valley like a heavy liquid. It is a silence so deep you can hear the blood rushing in your ears. You can hear the sound of your own steady breathing, in and out. The dry air enters your lungs and it feels clean. It feels like it has never been breathed by anyone else. It is pure oxygen and nitrogen, unpolluted by the dust of the lowlands. As the twilight deepens, the first stars begin to appear. Because of the rain shadow effect, the seeing conditions are perfect. Astronomers travel to these high, dry places because the air is so stable. There is no turbulence to make the stars twinkle. They shine with a steady, unblinking light. This is the geometric peace of the cosmos. Look up, see the geometry of the constellations. Orion, the hunter, rising in the east with his belt of 3 perfect stars. The Pleiades, a tight cluster of blue jewels. Cassiopeia, the great W spinning around the pole. These shapes have not changed in thousands of years. They are the constants. While your life moves and changes, the stars remain fixed in their geometric dance. This stability is hypnotic. It anchors you. You feel small but not insignificant. You feel connected to the vast machinery of the galaxy. The Milky Way begins to emerge. It looks like a cloud of steam rising from the southern horizon. It is the collective light of billions of stars, too distant to be seen individually. In the clear, dry air of the rain shadow, it is so bright it almost casts a shadow of its own. You can see the dark lanes of dust within the galaxy, the places where new stars are being born. You are looking into the past. The light hitting your retina left those stars thousands of years ago. You are time traveling while standing still. The darkness is complete now. The mountain is just a black void against the star field. It is a presence you can feel rather than see. It is a massive gravitational anchor holding you to the earth. The geometry of the valley cradles you. The slopes on either side rise up like the walls of a great room. You are safe inside. The wind dies down as the temperature stabilizes. The atmosphere settles into layers of density. This stratification creates a stillness that is almost supernatural. Nothing moves. The trees are statues. The grass is frozen in place. You are the only moving thing, and you are moving towards sleep. The cold air makes you want to curl up. It makes you want to seek warmth. You imagine yourself under a thick down comforter. The contrast between the cold air on your face and the warmth of the bed is one of the greatest physical pleasures. It grounds you in your body. It makes you aware of your own heat. You are a small furnace of life in the vast, cool night. The shadow zone is not just a place, it is a state of mind. It is the state of being shielded. It is the state of being in the dark. It is the state of clarity. When you close your eyes, you can still see the geometry of the stars. They are imprinted on your mind. The order of the universe remains even when you cannot see it. The earth continues its rotation, carrying you deeper into the shadow. Midnight approaches, the point of maximum darkness. The sun is now directly on the opposite side of the planet. You are as far away from the day as you can possibly be. This is the apogee of the night. The stillness reaches its peak. In this silence, the brain shifts its frequency. It moves from the beta waves of alertness to the alpha waves of relaxation, and finally towards the theta and delta waves of deep sleep. It follows the rhythm of the planet.
The biology of your brain is synced with the physics of the mountain. The lack of light triggers the release of melatonin. The hormone of sleep flows through your veins like the dark rivers that flow underground.
It is a chemical signal that says it is safe to rest. The mountain is guarding you. The stars are watching over you. The rain shadow has cleared the path for your dreams. There are no obstacles. There is no haze. Your dreams will be clear and vivid. They will be spacious like the sky above. You feel the weight of your eyelids. They are heavy with the dust of the day. You let them close. The darkness behind your eyes merges with the darkness of the valley. There is no separation. You are part of the shadow. You are part of the night. The concept of time begins to dissolve. Minutes stretch into hours. The rotation of the earth feels like a gentle rocking motion. You are drifting on a planet sailing through space. The stability of the bedrock beneath you ensures you will not fall. You are supported by the crust of the earth. You are held by the gravity of the stone. The geometric shapes of the constellations slowly wheel overhead, marking the passage of the night. You do not need to watch them. They will turn whether you watch or not. This is the freedom of the shadow zone. You are released from the duty of observation. You can let go. You can sink. The air is so still, it feels like a solid substance. It supports you. The silence is so thick, it wraps around you like a cocoon. You are deep within the comfort of the rain shadow. The storms of life are on the other side of the mountain. They cannot reach you here. All that reaches you is the starlight and the silence. The chaotic waves of the world break against the other side of the range and dissipate. Here the water is calm. Here the air is dry. Here the mind is empty. You breathe in the peace of the high altitude. You breathe out the tension of the lowlands. With every breath you become lighter. With every breath you become darker. You are fading into the landscape. You are becoming a silhouette. You are becoming a shadow. The peace is absolute. It is mathematical in its perfection. Zero noise, zero light, zero stress. The equation balances to zero. And in that 0 point, you find sleep. It is a deep, dark sleep, a sleep as old as the mountains, a sleep as vast as the sky. The shadow zone is your home now. The night is your blanket. The stars are your nightlight. The mountain is your guardian. Trust in the geometry. Trust in the physics. Trust in the rotation. Everything is exactly where it is supposed to be. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, asleep, in the shadow, in the peace, in the dark. The universe is vast and beautiful and silent, and you are drifting through it safely. The stars shine on, the earth turns on, the shadow lengthens, and you sleep. Good night.
High in the alpine wilderness, where the air is thin and the horizon stretches forever, there exists a soundscape that is older than humanity. This is the realm of acoustic ecology, where the landscape itself becomes an instrument and the wind is the musician. We often think of silence as the absence of sound, but in the high mountains, silence is actually a presence. It is a woven tapestry of frequencies that our ears perceive as peace. Tonight, we will tune our minds to the specific frequency of the wind and the rock. Imagine you are standing in a vast canyon carved from ancient red sandstone or gray granite. The walls rise up on either side of you, acting as massive parabolic reflectors. They catch the sound of the world and focus it. The wind is blowing high above on the rim. It is a steady current of air moving from the west. When this air strikes the jagged peaks and the sharp ridges, it creates a physical phenomenon known as aeolian sound. The mountain is like a giant flute. The wind splits against the stone edges, creating turbulence. This turbulence vibrates.
it creates a tone. Because the mountains are so massive, the tones they produce are incredibly deep. These are low-frequency sounds. Some of them are even below the range of human hearing, entering the spectrum of infrasound. You may not hear these deep notes with your ears, but your body feels them. It is a subtle vibration that resonates in your chest and settles in your bones. It is a feeling of heaviness and grounding. This is the earth humming to you. The science of sound tells us that these low frequencies are naturally soothing to the human nervous system. High-pitched sounds, like sirens or alarms, trigger our fight or flight response. They demand attention. But low-pitched sounds, like the rumble of distant thunder, or the deep groan of a shifting glacier, or the bass note of the wind in a canyon, tell us that we are safe. They tell us that something large and stable is present. This is the acoustic blanket of nature. As you listen to the imaginary wind, envision the sound waves traveling through the air. They are invisible ripples of pressure. They wash over you like gentle waves of water. The sound you're hearing is a perfect example of pink noise. You have heard of white noise, which is static and harsh, but pink noise is different. In physics, pink noise is a signal where every octave carries the same amount of power. It is deeper, it is richer. It is the sound of heavy rain falling on leaves. It is the sound of a waterfall in the distance, and it is the sound of the wind moving through a pine forest. This pink noise creates a masking effect. It smooths out the sharp edges of the world. It fills in the silence without cluttering it. Your brain loves pink noise. Research shows that steady pink noise acts as a synchronizer for your brain waves. When you are awake and alert, your brain produces beta waves, which are fast and jagged. As you listen to the steady, deep roar of the mountain wind, your brain naturally wants to match that rhythm. It begins to slow down. The beta waves smooth out and lengthen into alpha waves. You feel a sense of calm washing over you. You feel your muscles relaxing. The wind continues to blow. It filters through the needles of the bristlecone pines. This adds a higher layer of texture to the sound, a soft hissing that sits on top of the deep rumble. It is a full spectrum of sound. It occupies your mind completely, leaving no room for anxious thoughts. The wind is scrubbing the valley clean. It is scrubbing your mind clean. Imagine the air molecules dancing against the stone. Friction creates sound. The rougher the rock, the softer the sound. The sandstone absorbs the high frequencies, making the wind sound warm and hollow.
The granite reflects the sound, making it crisp and clear. You are surrounded by this acoustic geology. You are inside the music of the earth. The rhythm is not regular like a clock. It ebbs and flows. It swells and fades. This unpredictability within a predictable range is hypnotic. It mimics the rhythm of breathing. It mimics the rhythm of the ocean. It creates a state of trance. You are drifting on this river of sound. The infrasound acts as a gravity well, pulling you down deeper into relaxation. The sound waves physically interact with your body. They gently press against your skin. They massage your eardrums. The auditory nerve sends a signal to your brainstem saying that all is well. The primitive part of your brain, the part that is always scanning for danger, hears the wind and knows it can rest. The wind is the breath of the planet, and tonight you are breathing in time with it. Inhale slowly and hear the wind swell in the trees. Exhale slowly and hear the wind die down into a whisper. You are synced. You are entrained. The boundaries between you and the environment are dissolving. You are not just listening to the wind, you are part of the wind.
You are part of the acoustic landscape. The sound is a physical space that you are inhabiting. It is a room made of vibration, and in this room, you are safe to sleep. The pink noise is a constant companion. It does not demand anything from you. It simply exists. It is a steady backdrop to your dreams. As you go deeper, your brain waves slow even further. They transition from alpha to theta. This is the twilight zone of consciousness, the place between waking and sleeping. Here, the sound of the wind might transform into visual images. You might see the clouds moving rapidly across the moon. You might see the shadows of the branches dancing on the ground. You might see the vast, dark shape of the mountain against the stars. These images are soft and fleeting. They drift by like the air currents. The infrasound holds you down. It prevents you from floating away. It keeps you tethered to the bed, tethered to the earth. The heaviness you feel is the heaviness of the mountain. The stability of the rock is transferred to you through the sound. Millions of years of geology are speaking to you in a low hum. It is a lullaby that has been sung for eons before humans walked the earth. It is the original sound of the planet, and it is perfectly designed to help you sleep. The wind moves through the canyons, creating echoes. The sound bounces back and forth, losing energy with each reflection until it fades into nothingness. This decay of sound is peaceful. It reminds us that everything passes. Every thought passes. Every worry passes, just like the wind, just like the echo. You are left with the silence beneath the sound, a silence that is vast and supporting. The acoustic ecology of the high mountains is a clean environment. There is no noise pollution here. There are no engines, no voices, only the pure frequencies of nature. This purity cleanses your ears. It resets your hearing. It allows you to listen to the quiet. In the quiet, you can hear your own heart beating. It slows down to match the slow pulse of the infrasound. Thump, 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 a steady rhythm of life. The night air is cool and carries the sound well. Cold air is denser than warm air, so the sound travels clearer and faster. The physics of the atmosphere are working in your favor. They are delivering the lullaby directly to your soul. Imagine yourself lying on a flat rock, warmed by the sun of the day, but now cooling under the stars. You are wrapped in a heavy sleeping bag. The only part of you exposed is your face.
You feel the cool breeze on your cheeks, and you hear the symphony of the night. The wind plays the ridges like a harp. The pines rustle like percussion shakers. The deep valley hums like a bass drum. It is a complete composition. It surrounds you. It holds you. You are the audience of one. The concert is just for you. And the purpose of the concert is to bring you rest, to bring you to that place of deep, restorative sleep. The sound creates a barrier against the outside world. Nothing can penetrate the wall of pink noise. You are safe inside your bubble of sound. The frequencies are massaging your brain. They are smoothing out the wrinkles of the day. They are untangling the knots of stress. You feel a wave of relaxation start at the top of your head and move down to your toes. It follows the direction of the wind. It is a warm, liquid feeling. It is the feeling of letting go. The sound is meaningless in the best possible way. It is not a language you have to understand. It is not a code you have to decipher. It is just physics. It is just air moving over rock. This simplicity is liberating. Your mind does not have to work. It can turn off. It can shut down. The logic centers of your brain go dark. The emotional centers feel soothed. The sensory centers are bathed in the gentle wash of the wind. You are floating in a sea of frequencies, low and slow, deep and dark. The sound is a blanket pulled up to your chin. It keeps you warm. It keeps you secure. The mountain stands firm against the wind. It does not move. You are like the mountain. You are still. You are heavy. You are unmoved. The wind blows around you, but it does not disturb you. It only lulls you deeper and deeper. The pink noise becomes a tunnel, a soft, dark tunnel leading you down into sleep. You follow the sound. You drift along the current. There is no resistance. There is no effort, just the gentle pull of gravity and sound. The infrasound vibrates in your dreams. It gives them a solid foundation. You will not have chaotic dreams tonight. You will have dreams of earth and stone and vast open spaces, dreams of flying over the canyons, dreams of floating on the wind. The acoustic environment has shaped your internal environment. It has made it peaceful. It has made it quiet. The frequency of the wind is the frequency of sleep. The frequency of the rock is the frequency of rest. You are tuned in. You are resonating. You are harmonizing with the night. The wind whispers the secrets of the ages, but you are too tired to listen. You just let the sound wash over you. It cleanses you. It renews you. The night stretches on. The wind continues its journey across the continent, but you have stopped. You have arrived at the destination. The destination is sleep. The destination is silence. The sound fades into the background. It becomes a part of you. You are the silence. You are the wind. You are the rock. Sleep now. Deep sleep. The mountains are singing you to sleep. The earth is holding you. The sound is protecting you. Good night.
In the vast and silent wilderness of the early American West, there existed a landscape so immense that it defied the imagination. It was a canvas of endless prairie and towering peaks and deep river valleys that had never been recorded on paper. Into this great unknown stepped the surveyors of old. They were the quiet observers of history. They were the men who brought order to chaos, not with weapons, but with instruments of brass and glass and wood. Imagine yourself traveling back to that time of exploration. It is the early 19th century. The air is clean and smells of sagebrush and pine. There are no engines, there are no roads. There is only the sound of the wind moving through the tall grass and the rhythmic crunch of boots on the soil. The surveyor walks slowly. He carries a heavy wooden tripod on his shoulder. He is a man of patience. He knows that the mountain will not move and the river will not change its course before he can measure it. He understands the value of stillness. Tonight, we find comfort in his methods. We find relaxation in the mathematical precision of his work. The tools of his trade are objects of beauty and weight. Picture a brass sextant in your mind. It is cool to the touch. It is heavy and solid. It is a machine made of arcs and mirrors and lenses. It is an instrument designed to capture the light of the stars and bring them down to the horizon. The surveyor treats it with reverence. He takes it out of its velvet-lined wooden box. He wipes the lens with a soft cloth. The movements are ritualistic. They are slow and deliberate. There is no rushing in the art of surveying. If you rush, you make mistakes. And in the wilderness, a mistake can mean being lost forever. So the surveyor takes his time. He sets up his station. He plants the legs of the tripod deep into the earth. He presses them down until they are rock solid. This is the first step of finding peace. You must ground yourself. You must find a stable footing. The tripod stands firm against the wind. From the center of the tripod hangs a plumb bob. It is a heavy, pointed weight of brass suspended by a simple string. Gravity pulls it straight down. It points to the center of the earth. It never lies. It is the definition of vertical. Watch the plumb bob swing gently and then come to a perfect rest. It is motionless. It is centered. You too can find this center. You can feel the pull of gravity anchoring you to your bed, just as the plumb bob is anchored to the station point. The surveyor looks through the theodolite. It is a telescope mounted on a rotating base. He sees the world through a circle of glass. He focuses on a distant peak. Maybe it is a snow-capped giant in the Rockies or a sharp ridge in the Bitterroots. He turns a small brass screw on the side of the instrument. The motion is incredibly fine. The threads of the screw are cut with microscopic precision. He turns it just a fraction of an inch. The image in the telescope shifts ever so slightly. He aligns the crosshairs. The vertical line bisects the mountain peak perfectly. The horizontal line sits on the horizon. It is a moment of perfect alignment. Chaos is framed. The wild world is captured in a circle of logic. He reads the angle on the vernier scale. He squints at the tiny markings engraved in silver. Degrees, minutes, seconds. These are the units of his reality. They are precise. They are reliable. There is a profound comfort in numbers. In a world that feels unpredictable, numbers are a sanctuary. A 45-degree angle is always a 45-degree angle. It does not change with the weather or the seasons. The surveyor writes the number down in his leather-bound journal. The scratch of the graphite pencil on the rough paper is a soothing sound. It is the sound of making a record. It is the sound of permanence. He is building a map. He is creating a representation of the world that makes sense. The primary method of the surveyor is triangulation. This is a concept of pure geometric beauty. Imagine a triangle. It is the strongest shape in nature. It is rigid and stable. To map the unknown, the surveyor measures a baseline. He walks a specific distance on flat ground. He measures it with a heavy steel chain, link by link, foot by foot. He knows the exact length of this line. Then, from each end of the line, he looks at a distant point. He measures the angles. Now he has a side and two angles. With the simple, elegant laws of trigonometry, he can calculate the rest. He does not need to climb the mountain to know how far away it is. He uses the math. He uses the sine and the cosine. He solves the triangle. There is a deep satisfaction in this. It is the satisfaction of solving a puzzle. It is the satisfaction of knowing where you are. As you lie in the dark, visualize these invisible triangles stretching across the landscape. They connect the peaks to the valleys. They connect the river bends to the forests. They form a giant invisible net over the land, a net of safety, a net of understanding. The surveyor weaves this net with his mind and his tools. He turns the unknown into the known. He turns the fear of the wild into the comfort of a map. The sun begins to set over the western range. The light turns golden and then violet. The work of the day is done, but the work of the night is just beginning. The surveyor builds a small campfire. The flames flicker and dance, casting warm shadows against the canvas of his tent. He sits by the fire and warms his hands. The silence of the wilderness is absolute. There is no hum of electricity. There is no distant traffic. There is only the crackle of the wood and the vast overhead dome of the sky. The surveyor looks up. The stars are his guides. Long before GPS, the stars were the only way to know where you were on the surface of the earth. He waits for the North Star, Polaris, the anchor of the heavens. It sits almost perfectly above the North Pole. While all the other stars spin in great arcs across the sky, Polaris remains still. It is the surveyor's constant companion. It is the fixed point in a turning world. He brings out his sextant again. The brass glimmers in the firelight. He aims it at the star. He brings the reflection of the star down until it touches the horizon. He measures the altitude. From this single number, he can calculate his latitude. He knows how far north he is. He is locating himself on the sphere of the planet. There's a feeling of being found in this process. You are not lost, you are right here. You are exactly where the math says you are. The surveyor takes out his logarithm tables. These are books filled with columns of numbers. He runs his finger down the page, finding the right row. He performs the calculation. It is a slow, meditative process. He is not in a hurry. The night is long. The stars will be there all night. The math is a ritual of the mind. It occupies his thoughts, pushing away any worries or fears. It focuses him on the absolute truth of geometry. He finds his answer. He marks a small dot on his chart. That dot is him. That dot is his campfire. That dot is his peace. He closes the book. He puts away the instruments. He wraps himself in a thick wool blanket. The ground beneath him is hard, but he has dug a small hollow for his hip. He is comfortable. He is tired in the good, honest way that comes from physical work. He listens to the sounds of the night, the hoot of an owl, the rustle of dry leaves, the flow of the nearby river. The river is a surveyor too. It follows the path of least resistance.
It flows downhill, obeying the laws of gravity, just like the plumb bob. The water seeks the ocean. The surveyor seeks the map. You seek sleep. It is all the same journey. It is a journey towards rest. The map is a symbol of control. When we map something, we understand it. We take away its power to frighten us. The surveyor looks at the blank spaces on his paper. He is not afraid of them. He sees them as potential. He sees them as future triangles waiting to be measured. He knows that tomorrow he will wake up and measure another baseline. He will turn another screw. He will read another angle. It is a routine. It is a cycle. Step by step, mile by mile, the continent is crossed not by running, but by walking and measuring. This slow progress is hypnotic. It teaches us that we do not need to do everything at once. We just need to do the next thing. We just need to measure the next angle. As the fire burns down to glowing embers, the surveyor feels a deep connection to the earth. He knows the curve of the land. He knows the height of the ridges. He respects the geography. He is a guest in this vast temple of stone and sky. The heavy canvas of the tent protects him from the dew. The wool blanket holds his body heat. The tools are safe in their boxes. The numbers are safe in the journal. Everything is in its place. This sense of order allows his mind to let go. He does not need to be vigilant. The stars are keeping watch. The math is holding the world together. He closes his eyes. In his mind, he sees the grid lines of latitude and longitude. They are comforting blue lines wrapping around the globe. They cradle the earth. They cradle him. He drifts along these lines. He floats across the meridians. He is weightless. The heavy brass instruments are left behind. The heavy boots are left behind. Only the geometry remains, pure and weightless and silent. The triangle of the mountains, the circle of the horizon, the arc of the stars. It is a landscape of shapes and shadows. The wind whispers through the sagebrush. It sounds like a hush. Shh, shh. The world is sleeping. The animals are sleeping. The mountains are sleeping. The surveyor joins them. His breathing becomes slow and rhythmic. In, out, like the swing of the plumb bob, back and forth, slowing down, coming to center, coming to rest. The history of the land is deep. Millions of years of geology lie beneath his sleeping form, layers of sediment, layers of stone. The surveyor is just a brief moment in time, but his work endures. The maps he draws will guide others for generations. There is peace in knowing your work matters. There is peace in doing a job well.
The precision of the day leads to the relaxation of the night. You are the surveyor of your own dreams. You have measured the day. You have calculated your worries and written them down. You have closed the book. Now it is time to rest. The map is finished for today. The territory of sleep lies ahead. It is a gentle land, soft hills and quiet valleys, no steep cliffs, no rushing rapids, just a calm, smooth plain stretching out to the horizon. You step into this land. You walk slowly. You are unburdened. The stars above you are friendly. They are the same stars that watched over Lewis and Clark. They are the same stars that watched over the ancients. They are timeless. They are patient. They are waiting for you to join them in the silence. The sextant is asleep in its box. The compass needle settles to the north. The fire is just a warm glow in the dark. The night is heavy and soft. It wraps around you. It presses gently on your eyelids. It weighs down your limbs. You are sinking into the earth. You are sinking into the past. You are sinking into the comfort of the survey. The lines are drawn. The angles are measured. The world is safe. The world is known. You can let go now. You can drift. You can sleep. The logic of the universe is holding you. The gravity of the planet is holding you. The history of the explorers is watching over you. Rest in the knowledge that everything is where it should be. Rest in the certainty of the stars. Rest in the quiet of the map. Sleep, deep sleep. The surveyor rests. The world turns. The night is yours. Good night.
There is a universal law that governs every star in the sky and every stone on the earth and every thought in your mind. It is a law not of creation, but of relaxation. It is known to physicists as the second law of thermodynamics, and it speaks of entropy. It tells us that over time, all systems tend to move from order to disorder, from complexity to simplicity, and from high energy to low energy. While this might sound like a decline, it is actually a promise of ultimate rest. It is the scientific guarantee that everything will eventually find peace. Consider the mountain. It stands tall and jagged, piercing the atmosphere with its granite peaks. It looks invincible. It looks permanent. But the mountain is fighting a losing battle against gravity and time. Every day the sun heats the rock, causing it to expand. Every night the cold air causes it to contract. This subtle breathing of the stone creates microscopic fractures. Water seeps into these cracks. When winter comes, the water freezes and expands, forcing the rock apart with the strength of a hydraulic press. This is the slow violence of erosion. But tonight we view it not as destruction, but as a release. The mountain is tired. It is holding millions of tons of rock up against the pull of the earth. It requires structural tension to maintain its height. Erosion is the process of letting go. It is the mountain slowly exhaling. Piece by piece, the rock detaches. A boulder rolls down the slope and comes to rest in the valley. A pebble is washed into a stream. A grain of sand is blown by the wind. The mountain is surrendering its height. It is accepting the pull of gravity. It is seeking the lowest point. It is seeking equilibrium. This is the destiny of all things, to seek the level, to seek the flat, to seek the calm. Imagine yourself as the mountain. You have spent the day holding yourself up. You have built structures of thought and worry. You have maintained the tension of being a person in a busy world. But now, the sun has set. The cycle of building is over. The cycle of erosion has begun. It is time to let the gravity of the universe take over. Feel the tension in your shoulders crumbling away like dry clay.
Feel the stiffness in your neck dissolving like salt in water. You are wearing down. You are softening. The sharp edges of your mind are being rounded off by the gentle friction of fatigue. This is a good thing. You do not need to be sharp right now. You need to be smooth. You need to be formless. Follow the journey of a single grain of quartz that has been released from the summit. It has been part of the peak for 10 million years. It has seen the dinosaurs and the ice ages, but today it let go. It tumbled down the scree slope. It bounced and rolled until it hit the soft moss of the forest floor. It has stopped moving. It is at rest. It has lost its potential energy and found its peace. It is no longer striving to be high. It is content to be low. This is the lesson of entropy. Energy wants to spread out. It wants to dissipate. Your thoughts are high energy states. They are rapid vibrations in the neurons of your brain. Sleep is the dispersal of that energy. It is the cooling down of the system. Imagine your thoughts flowing out of your head like a river of silt. They are flowing away from you. They are joining the vast ocean of the collective unconscious. You are left with a quiet, empty space, a space where there is no friction. The landscape of the earth is constantly trying to become flat. The rivers carve the valleys. The wind scours the plains. Given enough time, every mountain will be a plain, and every trench will be filled. The earth wants to be a smooth sphere. It wants to resolve all its differences.
It wants to end the struggle between the high and the low. You are entering that state of flatness now. The bed is your plane. You are level with the earth. You are aligning yourself with the horizon. There is no more climbing to do. There is no more falling to do. You are already at the bottom. You are safe. The concept of deep time is a comfort here. In the face of 1 billion years, nothing matters. The urgency of tomorrow fades away when you think about the lifespan of a continent. The Appalachians were once higher than the Himalayas. Now they are rolling green hills, soft and approachable. They have learned the lesson of time. They have allowed themselves to be worn down. They are wise old mountains, sleeping under a blanket of trees. Be like the Appalachians. Let go of the need to be jagged and impressive. Be soft, be rolling, be green. The entropy of the universe is driving everything towards a state called thermal equilibrium. This is a state where everything is the same temperature. Everything is balanced. It is a state of absolute stillness. In the far distant future, when all the stars have burned out and all the galaxies have drifted apart, the universe will enter a state of dark, quiet rest. This is not something to fear. It is the ultimate bedtime story. It means that the noise will eventually stop. The chaos will eventually settle. The struggle will eventually end. The universe is slowly, gently drifting off to sleep. And you are a microcosm of the universe. You are a small universe in yourself, and your personal entropy is increasing. Your energy is spreading out into the mattress. Your body heat is warming the sheets, creating a cocoon of thermal equilibrium. You are becoming one with your environment. The boundaries between you and the room are blurring. This is the drift into nothingness. It is a soft, warm nothingness. It is the feeling of floating in a sensory deprivation tank. There is no input, there is no output, there is only being. The river carries the sediment to the sea. The water slows down as it reaches the delta. It loses its energy. It drops its burden. The sand settles to the bottom of the ocean. It creates a layer of mud, layer upon layer,
silence upon silence. This is where you are going. You are sinking to the bottom of the sea of sleep. The pressure of the water holds you down. It is a comforting pressure. It feels like a heavy blanket. The darkness is complete. There is no light to stimulate the eyes. There is no sound to stimulate the ears. The sensory erosion is complete. You are left with the pour of your existence, the slow, rhythmic beating of your heart. Even that is slowing down. It is obeying the laws of thermodynamics. It is conserving energy. It is finding the most efficient rhythm. Thump, 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 a slow drum in the deep. The atoms in your body are vibrating a little less. They are cooling. They are calming. The electrons are spinning a little smoother. The physics of your body is entering a low power mode. This is the recharge. This is the necessary pause. You cannot fight entropy. You can only surf it. You can only ride the wave of relaxation all the way to the shore of dreams. The resistance is what causes the stress. The rock that fights the wind gets carved into strange shapes. The rock that yields to the water becomes a smooth river stone. Be the river stone, smooth and round and heavy. Let the water of time flow over you. Do not resist. Let it take the sharp edges. Let it take the rough surfaces. Let it polish you into peace. The wind is blowing across the desert. It moves the sand dunes slowly, one grain at a time. The landscape shifts. It is never the same from one moment to the next. Your mind is a shifting landscape. The thoughts are just sand dunes. They are not permanent.
The wind of sleep is blowing them away. It is flattening the dunes. It is creating a vast, smooth desert of silence. It is beautiful in its emptiness. There is no clutter. There is no noise. Just the horizon and the stars. The stars themselves are burning down. They are using up their fuel. They are moving towards their own rest. The sun is halfway through its life. It too will eventually fade. Everything returns to the dark. Everything returns to the quiet. This thought makes your problems feel very small. If the sun itself is temporary, then surely your worry about tomorrow is insignificant. You can let it go. You can let it dissolve. You can let it drift away like smoke in the wind. The particles of smoke spread out until they are invisible. That is entropy. The concentration of smoke becomes a thin haze and then nothing. Your consciousness is spreading out. It is no longer concentrated in the frontal lobe of your brain. It is diffusing. It is flowing into your arms and legs. It is flowing into the pillows. It is becoming a thin haze of awareness. And soon it will be nothing. It will be the blank slate of deep sleep. This is the reset, the wipe clean. When you wake up, the world will be new again. But for now, the world is old. The world is ending its cycle. The curtain is falling. The lights are dimming. The physics of the end of the day are taking over. Gravity is the conductor of this symphony. It brings the eyelids down. It pulls the jaw down. It anchors the body. Entropy is the melody, a slow fading tune, a decrescendo, getting softer and softer and softer until there is only silence. The erosion of the day is complete. The structures you built have crumbled. The lists you made have turned to dust. The conversations you had have faded into the air. Nothing remains but the heavy, comfortable feeling of existence. You are simply a mass of matter resting on a planet. You are obeying the laws of physics.
You are doing exactly what you are designed to do. You are degrading into sleep. You are falling apart in the most wonderful way. You are separating from your ego. You are separating from your name. You are separating from your history. You are just a breathing organism in the dark. The void is waiting for you. It is a friendly void. It is the space between the stars. It is the space between the atoms. It is the silence between the notes. Step into the void. Drift into the nothingness. It is soft and black and endless. There is no bottom. You can fall forever and never hit the ground. You are weightless in the void. The heavy granite has become dust, and the dust has become air, and the air has become vacuum. You are free. The second law of thermodynamics is cradling you. It is whispering that it is okay to stop. It is okay to run out of energy. It is okay to be cold and still. The universe handles the rest. The universe keeps turning. The galaxy keeps spinning. You do not need to do anything. You have reached the state of maximum entropy. You have reached the state of maximum peace. The drift is final. The drift is complete. You are gone. You are asleep. The mountain sleeps. The sand sleeps. The dust sleeps. And you sleep, deep into the nothingness, quiet, still, eternal. Good night.